Welcome to this week's episode of Campbell and Jones Meet the Monsters, the podcast we chart the cinematic legacy of the classic monsters. I'm John Campbell. With me, as always, Brendan Jones.
Hey, John. Good to see you. And wait, do you smell that?
What is that?
Oh crap! That's the movie we just
watched.
watched.
Oh no! I thought I'd given enough time. I had all my windows open all day yesterday after
Yes,
this to
but
air
at
the
low
place.
tide, you know that just sweeps in.
Yeah.
And you smell Lost Boys the Tribe.
Oh boy, I gotta say, there are times on this show we watch a lot of garbage on here. There's no question. But then there are times when that garbage it commingles with things I like. And that this one hurts in a different way than some of the shitty stuff because this is getting to go back to a movie we both like, but I in particular revere. I adore The Lost Boys.
I love The Lost Boys. I don't know where you're getting this.
All right, I can't remember, but yeah, but like
there's nitpicks and I can mock it all day long, but like it is what it set out to be, and it is a fun, stylized.
Yeah, it's one of the vampire movies
with good actors in it.
Really good actors, a director with a strong vision, a great command over knowing exactly what its tone is supposed to be. We're saying all that because none of that is here in the sequel at all. I mean, not even remotely. But yeah, that's the thing about it is it's because when you say that, it's fun. So it's one of the ones I watch the most because it's so rewatchable. For a while, it is. It's a go-to Halloween time movie for me.
It's a comfort horror movie
because it's fun and it's breezy and moves along. This thing though is
leaden.
Yeah,
it's leaden.
Really, sadly, it is Warner Brothers themselves who made it. Although we'll talk about the division of Warner Brothers that made it because that actually is the thing I'm most excited to talk about on this episode is Warner Premiere and their little run that they tried to make here. I don't know how much you know about Warner Premiere.
I don't know much about it. So you'll have to be cluing me in.
We're talking about from 2007. It's The Lost Boys, The Tribe. The Tribe.
Yeah. Now, here's the thing. When we watch something like this is when, and it does hurt
2008,
connected
actually.
to something I love.
I forgot about. Forgot how.
But what happened?
I was saying it's actually 2008, but I remember I said last week that I watched this when I worked at Blockbuster, and I forgot that it wasn't like right when I started at Blockbuster. Okay,
that's okay. No one is sitting there.
I also like that I keep saying that to go. I didn't watch this. I didn't pay to watch it. I did this time, sadly, pay to watch it.
Me too.
Yeah,
and we need to talk about that. No,
I actually invoiced Feldman. I actually invoiced Corey Feldman after I watched this.
No,
because he doesn't have it.
The money went straight to him.
Yeah, he doesn't have it. So
here's the thing: when we watch something like this, the question rises in my brain.
Yeah.
Do we need to be this thorough? Because here's the deal.
Yeah.
I think about movies that we did skip.
Yeah.
That movies that are also bad.
Yeah.
But might be more fun, like Jesse James.
Well, we've talked about some of it is the formatting of the show, right? We weren't doing decades. We probably should have gone back and started
Werewolves
in the 40s.
on Wheels.
We almost did Werewolves on Wheels. That was in discussion.
The rats are coming. The werewolves are here. Which, by the way, is still one of my favorite titles of all time.
That's an amazing title.
Here's the thing: if the werewolves are here. Mm-hmm. Don't worry about the rats that are on their way.
The rats seem like less of a problem at that point.
Less of a problem, and yet that seems to be the main concern. Hey, buddy, the rats are coming. The werewolves are here.
Well, is the idea that the rats are the... I'm going to keep going down this road because there's nothing to talk about in this movie. Is the idea that the werewolves of the first wave, they're going to wear you out because they're the harder thing. So then the rats have an easier time taking you because if you defeat the werewolves, you're going to be spent. I have seen
that movie, and the thing is, the rats are there. It's not even a thing. They only put rats. There is a rat in the movie, and it's really they were trying to cash in on Willard, which had come out around that time. Totally. So they thought we'll play up the rat part of it, even though there's a rat. So a big thing. It's a werewolf movie.
We'll save that for when we get to Campbell and Jones Meet the Rats, and we'll also do of Unknown Origin with Peter Weller.
Oh, perfect. But I just got to say that there are plenty of things that we moved past,
Yep.
and knowingly. So don't send us letters going, "You guys missed." We know what we've missed, and we've chosen to miss them.
Yeah.
There might be some things we haven't heard of, but generally speaking, we're pretty. But I get to this and I go, "We didn't need to do this," and it is a painful watch.
Oh God, yeah. I mean,
it's not a long movie. And
No.
I'm
It's.
like,
I think without credits, when I looked at before it hit the credits, it was like 84 minutes or something like that. It's far shorter than the first movie, but it drags like nobody's business. And also,
there's no life here. There's no life.
No.
Nor and they try to push the idea, like the first one of like, these are fun-loving, eternally young vampires.
Yeah,
but they're all bros and idiots.
Well,
and I don't want to spend any time with them. And they keep trying to force feed us how much fun they're having by having them constantly giggling. And you're
that's
like
a
going,
big problem. One of the big problems is the vampires in the original movie were actually cool.
Cool, or just kind of like, again, they're
mysterious.
rebels.
Yeah, they felt like, but that's what I mean. They're actually cool because they're never trying to be cool. A lot of that is on Schumacher, but also the actors.
Yeah.
They cultivated this look, this attitude. They also moved. It's interesting. This one's called The Tribe. They moved much better as a pack. Like they had a uniformity to them.
That's a very valid point, because when I'm watching, I'm going, if you call something The Tribe, maybe you want to focus on the group dynamics, and there's nothing of that here. They're just focused on the main two characters, the brother and sister, and the lead vampire. And there is no twist, by the way. If you thought there would be a twist where it turns out, we thought he was the lead vampire. No. I kept thinking, like, is it going to be the aunt?
I also thought
they're going to do that thing?
I thought it had to be the aunt, or it was going to go the way like the original movie where the grandfather knew about the...
Nope.
No. I thought, there's nothing.
This one said... That's too much trouble.
This thing just chugs along, and it's just going like everything you think is, and you don't need a twist in your movie, but it would sure help because there's no character work here or nothing interesting happening. Let's talk about Warner Premiere, because that will explain a lot of what we're seeing, I think, here.
Yeah.
Warner Premiere was an initiative, and Universal did this as well. I forgot I think they were just called Universal Home Entertainment. I don't think they had but Warner Premiere there was this... In the mid-2000s, we've talked about this, where we are in months. This was the height of DVD, right?
Yes.
And the whole thought there being...
Let's make cheaper things that go straight to DVD.
That's it, exactly. Here's the thing. We can cash in on all these licenses we have. It's different thing. Now it's the same thing, except now everything's a show, and it's got a lot of material put into it as IP. But back then, it's like... fast turnout IP stuff because people will just rent shit because the DVD market is gigantic. So that's where you get...
And it will never die.
Yeah, that's Warner Premiere.
They knew for a fact it was going to be there forever.
This is it, man. Once again, as a Blockbuster employee at the time, man, this was the era. I hated that job. I thought I was going to love it. The only benefit of that job was I got to see everything, but it was...
Yeah, you shouldn't have gone to Blockbuster. You should have gone to one of those cool mom and pop.
Oh, those don't ever hire. You know that, though. I wish I would have been so happy to work there. But Blockbuster is all about selling memberships and candy sales and shit.
Yeah.
I can talk shit about Blockbuster because they don't exist anymore.
Finally.
Yeah,
yes.
Yeah. But Warner Premiere, they made a bunch of these. Lost Boys of the Tribe was one of them. Do you remember that they did A Christmas Story 2?
Yes.
With Daniel
I didn't
Stern.
See it, but I'm aware of its existence.
I never saw it either. But they made a bunch of stuff. They also did... the big one I remember was they did a tie-in movie with the Get Smart movie, where they made the Get Smart movie, and then they took two of the characters from the Get Smart movie and made a straight-to-video thing that came out at the same time. And that was a big, like... oh, shit. What was it? Get Smart.
So not Steve Carell and
no,
Hathaway.
It's Masioka and Nate Torrance as the Q Branch, tech guys. It was called Get Smart's Bruce and Lloyd, Out of Control.
Oh my!
The film does feature a cameo in one scene from Anne Hathaway, who I'm sure they were like on set of the movie. Were like, over here, and can you just say these lines?
I don't mind that concept. The idea of having side stories that sometimes.
Well, that would have been
I
a
can't
comic
really
book
think
back
off
in the
the
day,
top of my
right?
head when it's worked.
No.
But the concept is pretty good. Like if it was a special feature that you got on the DVD or something.
Yeah.
I always liked the Marvel shorts they did.
Well, those were shorts, which was key as well. They were designed to be smaller in scale. What were the Marvel one-shots they were called, which was great. Very smart.
Yes.
Very smart. I just want to read a couple other titles, and I swear we'll get to this movie. The first one they released was Dukes of Hazzard: The Beginning.
I remember that.
Yeah. Return to the House on Haunted Hill.
Oh, thank God they went back.
A Dennis the Menace Christmas.
Oh, fuck.
Ace Ventura Jr.
Oh, yeah. I
remember that one? Yeah.
I want to make it clear.
Yeah.
I've seen none of these.
No, I think this is the only one I've seen.
But I know of them.
Yeah. Once again, and I know that, Christmas Story 2, as we talked about. And then they eventually kind of segue into being the DC animated stuff. Then the thing they were also releasing all those, and then I think this company folded and they were just DC Animation released them individually. Because I think they realized, those are the only ones that are selling, because those were actually of quality.
Because those are actually good.
They're all really good. Oh, they did the Tales of the Black Freighter animated tie-in thing with the Watchmen. Now that I actually think is one of the better. But that makes sense. That's a thing that's already there and makes sense as a tie-in product.
I will give Zack Snyder credit for wanting to include that, even in a tangential way.
So anyway,
last time I've given Zack Snyder credit for him.
I think there might be some other times. There are things.
Yeah, no, it's true. The opening credits of Watchmen, one of the best movies.
Actually, I would go so far as to say the opening credits of all of his movies are fantastic. He makes an amazing opening credit sequence.
He does. Okay,
the Army of the Dead opening credit sequence, incredible. All right. Yes. Lost Boys, The Tribe, coming to us from director P.J. Pesky?
Sure, let's go with that.
It's probably like Pesquet, but I'm going to call him Pesky because he's a pesky little scamp who made this movie.
He is a scamp,
But I looked up what else this guy made. Did you? Because we've seen his
Mud
work.
Pies.
Brendan, this is not the first movie of his we've seen on this show.
What?
Yeah.
Wait, what else has he done?
He also did From Dusk Till Dawn 3, The Hangman's Daughter.
Well, now we know how he got this gig.
Because I will say he did that. He also did Sniper 3 with Tom Berenger.
Which we famously covered because of the werewolves in it.
And the movie he makes right after this is Smokin' Aces 2, Assassin's Ball. He jumps over to the previously mentioned Universal straight-to-video sequel to our successful movies.
I know of that one simply because I was curious enough to see what else Autumn Reeser had done.
Who's the only good actress. The part is terrible, but I've seen her be good in other things.
Yes. Well, what's funny is because I know her.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know her, but I know of her.
We have her right here on the line. Hello. I'm sure she's dying to talk about this movie.
Almost none of her television and film stuff equals the talent and charm that she fully displays when she's doing the stuff with Thrilling Adventure.
Amelia Earhart, Fearless Flyer. Yeah.
Yes.
She's wonderful.
That means that they've never captured her doing stuff she's really good at, which is a shame.
Yeah.
She's funny.
She's very funny. Every time I've heard her on Thrilling Adventure or on podcasts where she's just talking, she seems very charming, very funny. Yep. She has a level of charm that is just inherent even in this piece of shit script. I've seen her we talked about her a few times.
She's trying in this.
She is really trying. She's really trying.
There's nothing for her.
And I remember her being one of the high points in the later seasons of the OC when that show went to hell.
Yeah, I think isn't that what people knew her from originally?
Yeah, that was kind of
an OC person.
Yeah, and she was an OC person that got her. She did 31 episodes of that. So
wow,
and then this was right after that. So I think, and yeah, she's kind of bounced around. I've seen, like I said, we talked about her a few times over on the Action Shelf because she's been a lot of those. She's huge in the Hallmark world. My parents see everything.
I saw that too, which made me sad. It just means that she found the gig,
and that's good. And that's good gig. Once again,
no, that is a good gig, but it's usually where people who just haven't hit go, and it makes me a little sad.
That's
because
it exactly. Haven't hit is the perfect description because she's got the talent. It's just never.
And there are good people
correct.
making those. I mean, some good people are making those Hallmark movies, and it's just like
a lot of you either get people who haven't hit, people on the ascent, or people who are like Patrick Duffy's in a lot of those, and you're like, that's great because he's no, but I'm saying that Patrick Duffy though is good. He'll be good in your movie as the grandfather or whatever.
Right. By the way, I loved seeing Eric Estrada in Fallout.
I was, and he's really good. He was really good.
He's really good. And I know that's the most out of left field thing that people listening going, "What the fuck is Brendan on about?"
Because especially because they're listening to us during season 5 of Fallout.
Yeah, probably.
But no, the other thing is Autumn Reeser really stands out in this too because she is paired with the two most boring and unlikable actors I can think of. I gotta say, they made a big deal about getting a Sutherland to be the vampire.
They got a Sutherland.
And this guy in no way inherited the charisma or talent of his brother and father, did he?
No, but the interesting looks.
Yep.
He got.
Yep. And an interesting voice too. He's got sort of a deeper.
Yes, not exactly sure what he's doing.
I think he's trying
voice wise.
He was trying to do surfer kind of guy, right?
He's trying to do surfer kind of guy, but he's also trying to give it this weird cadence.
Yeah,
like not just that he's perpetually, eternally stoned because he's a vampire.
Yeah,
but also kind of like philosopher.
Yeah, I mean, some of that is on the script. Some of that is on the script, of course, too. But I will say his acting career basically ends right here.
No!
He seems to have done well as a producer. He produced 1917, the Sam Mendes movie. So good for him.
And he's in it. It says that apparently he's in it. So maybe he has a small part.
Yeah, because he's uncredited, at least, on that. But, yikes. Yeah, just... The other thing is kind of maybe don't cast a Sutherland if he's going to just pale in comparison to his older brother. I mean, this has got to be... I mean, what do you say if you're Kiefer to your brother, and here he is doing the straight-to-video sequel to one of your most iconic things, and he's shit in it.
They probably laughed about it at the Thanksgiving table.
That Sutherland Thanksgiving table.
Yeah. I don't know. I can only assume that obviously Kiefer is not going to be intimidated by anything that his half brother has done.
No threat from Angus Sutherland to
threat
Kiefer
from Angus.
Angus Sutherland. Yeah. Tall, same kind of build too. Tall, lanky. You know.
Yeah. Again, he's got a look, and it even works for this character.
He looks good until he opens his mouth. That is very much.
And also, the character's stupid. We should just dive into this.
Let's talk about because the script comes to us from
the script.
Hans Rodionov.
I gotta say, I loved the bit in the Wikipedia when it's like, okay, this guy Hans Rodionov wrote The Tribe, and it was about hold on to your butts.
Yeah,
it was about surfing werewolves.
Yeah, well, that makes sense.
And then Warner Brothers was interested, but they turned it down because it was too similar to Lost Boys. Then Warner Brothers decides we're gonna make a Lost Boys sequel. Hey, remember that werewolf thing? Buy it, and we will just turn it into vampires. So, I mean, I can only assume that as a werewolf movie, it would have been just as batshit bad as this.
Right.
But it would have been... Was this improved by becoming a Lost Boys movie? No.
No, I think it was hurt because we went in now with more outrage towards it, right? Like, if we saw this as a surfing werewolf movie, we'd probably be like, that was dumb. But now it's like... What are you dragging a classic through the mud now?
And I love the fact that they still include in this movie 18 shots of full moons.
Yep.
For this, which is about vampires, and the implication being that again that apparently there are 18 full moons in a month in this world.
Which that's what's great is that's all in here. without it actually being about werewolves. So they're making the stupid mistake of werewolf movies, but it doesn't even matter to the plot.
But it doesn't even matter. It's just for aesthetics that the moon will always be full, and only people who, I don't know, took a science class in high school are sitting there going, I'm sorry.
I like that you think that'd be high school science. Like, if you took
science
in elementary school, you might know that there's not more than one full moon a month.
Yes, exactly. Anyone who's ever seen a calendar is not going to question.
I don't even know if I ever learned that. I think I just recognized that from existing in the world. Be thrilled because we'll see him back for Lost Boys: The Thirst. Don't worry. This guy's back. He's back writing that one too. So I guess they liked what he did here. This is also the guy who gave us the 2005 Man-Thing movie, if you remember that.
Yes, I do.
He also wrote...
Because I was excited that there was a Man-Thing.
Yeah, I also saw it. This guy also gave us Deep Blue Sea too. And the Skulls too. Remember the Skulls from...
The Skulls. What the hell? I mean, again,
that was over at Universal once again. Money. Universal, I think, has done even more, because we're talking about whole IP Squad seasons devoted to some of the Universal, like the fact that there are like 6 Scorpion King movies. Can you believe that? Because Universal.
Well, there are a lot of unanswered questions.
What was his deal with the Scorpions?
Yeah, why?
How did he become?
There were 6 Scorpion King movies.
5 or 6, yeah.
Who takes The Rock's place?
It's different wrestlers every time, I think, is the idea.
Great.
It's the same. They do the same thing with the Marine franchise over there too. It's John Cena, and then they just keep slotting in people. But they always get like a Billy Zane or a Ron Perlman or a Lou Ferrigno to be the face.
You can't go wrong with a Billy Zane or Lou Ferrigno.
You cannot. We are card-carrying Zaniacs on this show.
Very true.
Yeah, I love that man. And why he doesn't get more better stuff, I don't understand.
I don't know.
Yeah. Anyway, we love him. We love Zane over here. All right, he's not in this, sadly.
Unapologetic.
Can we start about... There is a cameo from someone we love right up front in this movie.
And who is that?
Tom Savini.
Yes, Tom Savini.
Little Tom Savini in here.
This is as much of a cool twist as the movie's going to give us, which
briefly.
We
very
see cool
briefly gave
surfer kids breaking onto private property
in front of a green screen.
Yeah.
Do you notice they never surf? By the way, they never surf in the movie. We never see them.
No,
surfing.
They do.
There's footage
right here. They do.
There's footage of people surfing, but the vast majority of the movie, this is it.
Oh, sure. Yeah,
is them going out to surf or coming back from having surfed.
3 of the main characters are supposedly professional surfers, including our hero, our lead vampire, and another one of the vampire tribe who has a beef with the lead character.
What a small world, by the way, that all those guys are in the same town and 2 of them are vampires. All right. Anyway.
I love the... we'll get there. But anyway, so they break onto this like rich person's property to go surfing, and then he comes out, and he's Tom Savini, who eternally has been hitting that, and I can't judge, but hitting that just for men.
That guy has had jet black hair for 50 years.
Jet black goatee and hair. And that's okay. I love you, Tom Savini.
We love
Amazing
Savini.
Makeup artist, and I've always enjoyed you in movies and stuff.
Well, because he wanted to be an actor. If you've seen the documentary about him, he's always wanted to be an actor.
Yeah.
And you can feel that in movies. It's that Stan Lee thing where he's like, hey, I'm in a movie.
Yeah, just call him up. He's there.
Yeah.
So he comes down as they get out of the water and are very green screened. Big full moon, by the way. And he's like going, what the fuck you guys doing here? This is my place. And they're like going, oh, we just wanted to surf, man. No big deal. And he's like going, oh, you're asking for it. And fangs pop out. What? Tom Savini's a vampire. Oh, no, these poor kids. Oh, but the kids are vampires.
Yes, and you are right.
What?
This is actually a somewhat decent scene, and none of the rest of the movie is as good as this.
No, there are like 3 bits in this that I like, and this was okay, especially the way it resolves, because it did have, at this very beginning, even though I don't like these vampires at all, it is at least in spirit, it feels Lost Boys-ish, because they take down the old guy vampire, and then they play with his head, and like they're like soccer kicking it into the ocean, and it's like, I think I fucking broke my foot on part of his spine.
It's fun to be a vampire, right?
It's fun to be a vampire, and they're giggling and hooting to
But it's
break
the 2000s, so they're also shooting it on their mini DV camera.
Yeah, they got little DV camera, and this ain't your daddy's Lost Boys.
No, man.
So at least right here at the beginning, I'm like, all right. I mean, okay.
You can see
and the
cheap.
Music has been modernized, and this is like a new take. And then immediately in the next scene where we're introduced to, guess what? Out-of-towners moving into Santa Clara.
Yeah, but this time, Brendan, totally different. This time, it's a brother and a sister instead of two brothers.
No parents around.
And no parents. No Weast, all right? And instead, you've got
no Weast.
two... I was unclear how old they were supposed to be because they're both in their mid-20s, obviously. Yeah. But then later they'll say that the sister's 17.
The girl is 17.
And you're like, yeah, right, okay, sure.
And we don't have Bernard Hughes. Yeah. What is the point? But anyway, also, here's the thing I'm going to say.
She's 28 years old in this movie.
Yeah, I know. Here's the thing I need. Here's the thing I need to let the world know. Yeah. I need to let the world know this. Vancouver is good for a lot of things, and from what I understand from people who've been there or lived there, wonderful place.
Yes, it's actually a place I've considered moving to several times in my life.
Yes, and if you're
lots of industry
a
there,
television program that needs to save some money, and you want to tell me that Vancouver is Chicago, or that it's
I've seen it as Seattle, I've seen it as Portland,
seen it as Deep South. Thank you, X-Files.
Yeah.
Then I will accept it with a shrug.
Yeah.
But if this is a major motion picture and you're telling me that icy blue, and they even lay on a blue filter, I'm sure.
There's a lot of filters in this thing.
Vancouver is supposed to be Santa Clara, California. Yeah. The whole thing that Schumacher embraced,
Santa Carla.
and he saw the essential dichotomy in Lost Boys of these are creatures of the night, but you're putting them in the sunniest, most beachy, bright colored people in their, Hawaiian shirts and the whole thing. That is brilliant.
It's one of
That's a brilliant transposition of vampires to location.
And one of the instant things that just visually separates that as a totally different kind of vampire movie.
Right. But here, everything is in a steely blue filter, and they at least do have Autumn Reeser's character immediately say, and he's like, welcome to sunny Southern California. She goes, where's the sun? And it's at least they're like, okay,
see,
the characters are admitting.
We follow this. We know what we're doing. See, audience? I love lines like that in movies.
Yeah, it's like, they're going to ask, so we're going to have a character cut it off at the knees.
Autumn Reeser.
Where's the sun?
Autumn Reeser's Nicole, and automatically I do go, well, I like her because I like Autumn Reeser.
Right.
And then I meet...
But she is terrible. I mean, as a character.
Well, the character's horrible. Like you're saying, she does everything she could. This is an example of this could have been so much worse, right? Like, because the character's terrible. At least they cast somebody who I inherently want to watch.
Inherently like, right. Yeah. And I was pulling for, I just kept going, please give her a redeeming moment. Please give her a redeeming moment. Because she's not really. It's not till the very end she goes, I don't think I can kill. It's like, well, you've literally not had a problem with anything so far, and you've just been glommed onto this.
Brendan,
Sutherland.
if we were to come into it, if we had planned this beforehand as a bit about what the main actor's name in this movie is, we couldn't have come up with a sillier name than this guy's real name, which I swear is Tad Hilgenbrink. His name is Tad Hilgenbrink.
This isn't the character's name.
No, that is that's what I'm saying.
The actor's
that name. Would be, but I'm saying like that reads like the fake, forgettable hunky guy name we would make, Tad Hilgenbrink.
Well, it sounds like something that George Costanza would say his manager's name is.
Tad Hilgenbrink. Yeah.
At what was it? What was the
Vandalay Industries?
Vandalay Industries.
They're a latex company.
Yes, Tad Hilgenbrink. This guy, when you look at he has a Wikipedia entry, but when
Oh.
you read it, it's sad, and yet again, I respect anyone that makes $5 off of doing
Hey,
film or TV.
it's
or
one of our
whatever.
longest running things. A working actor is a successful actor, no question.
Yes. But I love
yeah.
the fact that his big breakthrough was the American Pie origin story of Stifler.
Yeah.
And they hired him because he looks like
Yeah.
Sean William Scott in the face.
Oh no,
and he
no.
does.
He's not. No. He's Stifler's younger brother.
Oh, Stifler's younger brother. Okay.
Matt
But
Stifler.
regardless, it's not an origin story, right?
Yeah.
But he does look like he could
But
be
he made
related.
like 4 of those.
And you're like, oh, Jesus.
And
God.
actually, watching this, I've never seen those, believe it or not. I saw the first 3 American Pies, and that was enough for me. I'm shocked I even went through all of those. But
I saw the core ones, like the reunion and the wedding, and it's like, okay,
yeah, those were the 3. Yeah,
Yeah.
we both saw the trilogy. But
we wrapped up the story.
yeah,
and that's
and I will say those are movies that I loved at the time. I don't know that they're that great now. But at the time they were a breath. They felt like a breath of fresh air.
Don't feel the need to revisit either.
No, that's what I mean, though. But at the time, they felt like, wow, look at what they're doing. And then I feel like guys like Apatow and stuff did that better. But like they broke down.
R-rated comedy is back.
Yeah, but it's like then other people did it smarter. Anyway, I will say though, having not seen those, yes, the Sean William Scott vibe off of this guy is omnipresent.
Only without any humor. It's it's just sort of this surface level. Okay.
And Sean William Scott without humor is the broiest douchebag. I do not want to watch.
Well,
this guy.
Is the broiest movie we've seen.
That doesn't help at all. But that's why this guy is kind of perfect for this because other than Edgar Frog, who we already like, is anyone likable in this movie? No one.
That is
none of the
one of the main problems.
Likeable.
No one is. No one is.
Because you
I
do
didn't
feel
care.
In the original movie, Corey Haim, Jason Patric, they're earnest, nice young guys caught up in this. You like them.
Earnest, nice young guys with an awesome dog and a mom who's doing her
we
best.
love. Well, that's a huge thing that's missing here. Taking the mom out of it and making it this funny aunt character who really isn't present in the plot.
Diane Wiest and D. Wallace Stone.
Yep.
Like, of that era, those are the most awesome moms in film because they're fun and they're flawed, but they're trying really hard.
And they
love
really,
them to death.
Wiest is like a secret weapon in the original movie, right?
Secret weapon!
Because she grounds the whole thing, and that's what...
Her storyline with Edward Herrmann is like, it's not added on, it's vital.
Yeah.
And it's actually heartbreaking when we find out the big twist, which is one of the best. And again, this movie's making me love Lost Boys even more.
I know. Well, that is the one. And instead, we have this woman, Gabrielle Rose, who they've arrived at her house. I've seen her in a bunch of stuff. She's a
me
face
too.
I know. And looking through her career, it's lots of TV and stuff that I've watched.
Sure.
I don't know her from any one thing in particular. So she's totally fine. It's an underwritten part, massively underwritten part.
Yep.
That she's doing her best with.
And she only has like 3 scenes.
Yeah, she basically just comes in occasionally to yell at the kids because initially she's happy to see them. We find out their parents
The gag
have died.
is she's their aunt, and they think they're getting this place to stay for free because she owns the property and is the landlord. But the gag is, no, she expects to be paid.
Yeah.
Yes, I love you. You're my, my sister's kids or whatever. Yeah. But by
the way, they scoff
your check bounced.
They scoff at they scoff at $650 a month. For a rundown place, but it's like beachside property. Shut the fuck up.
Beachside in Vancouver.
Well,
it just kept cracking me up.
This is supposed to be Santa Carla. Because what I love immediately is you get none of the board. You get none of the iconography from the original movie.
You get a very brief walk down what looks like a boutique street.
Yes,
and there is a surf shop there, and that is it.
Because that's the thing that immediately is like. I understand this is supposed to be it's Santa Carla, because Santa Clara is the real city. Santa Carla is the
Santa Carla. Sorry,
it's the fake city in the
actually
movie.
Santa Clarita is a real place, and Yeah,
but it's Santa
Carla.
Carla. But you don't get that. Schumacher gives you that big sign of "Welcome to Santa Carla," and the boardwalk. There is nothing here to make this in any way feel like it's the same town.
When they go to the sheriff's office too, and I'm just like going, well, that looks like a Canadian sheriff's office and some small. I'm like, what the fuck?
And classic, there's like 2 guys there. You know,
2 guys.
There's like the sheriff and his deputy, and
this just it doesn't work.
By the way, $4.2 million production budget is what I'm looking at here, and that is low,
very low,
and it looks it. I will say the money is on the screen. That looks like a $4.2 million movie.
It does.
Especially when it's trying to pass itself off as a real movie. So yeah, we do find immediately the. By the way, does anything come of the weird old guy and the kid that are in the backyard of the house they're staying in? Because she takes them to there, and there's this weird old guy and a kid who's. But the kid creeped me out. He's just bashing a toy truck with a rock.
Yeah,
and I was just going, what? And I expected, are they going to be I thought either they were going to be vampires, or more likely they were going to know about vampires and maybe be hunters.
Actually, I until you said that, I forgot that they existed. I didn't,
because they never come back.
Draw too much. To me, they were the like the watermelon and Buckaroo Banzai. Where it's just sort of like that's color. It's there for color, and like this is the kind of place you've moved into.
They're like in their backyard. That's the thing that gets me about it. Anyway, and it's good, but it's all just there for Autumn Reese to go, ugh, it's so terrible here.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. That is the whole thing.
And also, like the whole thing is they've been orphaned, which I do love because they're both 30. You know. But yeah, she's trying to read which means she was really fucking old on OC as well. But I guess they all were on there. They were all like 25.
When we say really fucking old,
I mean for to be a high school student. I mean, sorry, because she's 28 here, and she seems younger, but not 17. And she's once again she's trying to play it as like I'm a teen girl. But I think they were. I mean, Ben McKenzie like immediately went and played Jim Gordon after the OC, I think. So, you know, it's like, guy was never a young man. So anyway, they go to the surf shop because he needs to find work. The brother, whose name is Chris, who could have ever remembered that. Literally, my notes always just call them brother and sister because their names are completely unimportant. They're Chris and Nicole, apparently, though. But anyway, he goes to the surf shop, and of course, the stoned young guy at the surf shop is like, "Hey, man, weren't you that great surfer who got thrown out of the whole, out of the competition?" Christ. By the way, did they ever really state what he did? He injured another surfer, is what they say.
Yeah, and got kicked off the circuit.
But I was trying to figure out.
They're like, that was tough, man. And it's the guy that has the beef with him.
Which I'm just like, once again, what are the fucking... It makes it imply that, like... that there's only like 6 professional surfers, you know.
I know. Well, that's I do love.
3 of them are here.
This is their attempt at like will build suspense or like a question in people's minds. It's like you were the best surfer next to whatever the main vampire guy is, who we haven't met yet. So when we meet him, we find out he's the vampire guy. It's like, wow, this is a small world because the guy who,
by the way,
got kicked out of the circuit is there.
I didn't know this till I read in the trivia. They have the same last names as the main characters from the Lost Boys. They're Chris and Nicole Emerson, and they were Michael and Sam Emerson in the original.
And they didn't bother to try and connect.
No. They just gave them the same names more as
like
a
the
reference.
Frog brothers, or Edgar would at least go, "You're Emerson's."
Well, but that's the thing is
this movie.
The script just calls them that. It's a shout out. It's not. It feels like it's more of just a shout out than it is an actual connection. Because they don't do anything to actually...
But it shouldn't be a shout-out, because had I caught that, which I didn't catch, because I can't remember them saying their last name.
I couldn't even remember their first name, so, that's trouble enough.
Well, I remember Nicole simply because
he shouts it a lot.
Guy whispers it a lot.
He whispers Nicole, and there's a lot of, "Where's Nicole?" It's I always think of Roger Ebert always complained about this in horror movies. He hates horror movies where people just shout each other's names.
Yeah.
Nicole, where are you? You know, I agree with that. Keep that out of your horror movies, folks.
Wow. You're coming down so hard.
Coming down so hard.
These people didn't do anything to you, John.
No, but talk about these are. This is very much in that vein of the movies we talk about that piss me off more than anything. I will take a Bonnie and Clyde versus Dracula over this because that is earnest people trying their best. This is a cynical cash grab made by a bunch of pros who are hacks. Really,
Preach.
These guys aren't serious filmmakers.
They are not.
Yeah, and that's why I don't blame the actors either, though, because they're just taking the work. I do put it on the directing and the producer, and the producers and the writing and Warner Premiere for the entire company of Warner Premiere is a cynical cash grab.
Yep.
Let's
cynical cash grab the movie is what they originally called this.
Well, it's so interesting though because certainly there are still cynical cash grabs, but now it does feel like something like that that actual Christmas Story sequel that was out the other year was made earnestly. You whether you like it or not, it doesn't matter. But it was made clearly out of like, oh, this is a heartfelt attempt to do this. Whereas Christmas Story 2, it looked like shit.
Yep.
All right. Anyway, and they spend no money either. That's also key.
Not a dime.
Yeah. So all right. So yeah, he's recognized the surf shop. He says, "Do you need any?" And I know this is going to shock you, Brandon. I don't really know much about surfing. So I was a little confused when at first he goes, "I'm looking for a job shaping."
Actually, I didn't follow that either, and I do not like when movies will kind of baby feed you and say,
but I could have used a little help.
Yeah, like you want a job shaping surfboards. That might have helped me a little.
He
but
just says shaping.
It took
I was like,
a while for it to reveal.
Literally, I'm going like, does he work with clay or the other thing? I also thought because of the movies I normally watch, explosives. Is he shape charges?
Oh no! I
actually no. I didn't really think, but I was just trying to go. It took me a while to figure out. And then he goes, you might want to try the Frog Brothers. And also, where did any of this shit come from about them being connected to surfing?
No, at no point.
They worked in a comic book store.
Have passed. Let's just say many years.
They could. I mean, yes, many years have passed, but and mainly it was probably just this way we don't have to build a comic book store because it really should be that he should. I mean, once again, if you're really making a sequel, shouldn't he go back to that same comic book shop and now Edgar owns it?
Yes, it should have been something like that. And also, what's really so stupid is this is Santa Carla.
Santa Carla, yeah.
And basically, there's one place that does this in that town. Mm-hmm. No. There's one surf shop that he's trying to get a job at, and they say, no, the only place that does that's Frog Brothers.
Yeah.
So that's where you want to go. And the Frog Brothers, we will learn their shop and where they live is in this like crazy industrial wasteland, like landfill. And you're sitting there going,
the Frog Brothers are living. Yeah, they're living in a Mad Max movie.
Yes, and what local is going to go out there? So you're like, why would the one shop that does that be this obscurity? No one would go to.
They would have to be the absolute best in the world at doing it for people to seek out people. Because literally, we go out there and he's living in a fucking trailer surrounded by like barbed wire fences going, keep out.
Yep, and all kinds of anti-vampire stuff.
Yeah,
which. All right,
because Feldman is. I mean, this is
what
older
makes
Feldman.
me sad about this movie.
Yeah,
this is what makes me sad.
Yeah,
this movie only picks up when Corey Feldman's on screen,
which is like sporadically here, and here.
Sporadically here or there. He is in character.
Yep,
he came to play.
You know what? He always does. I will say
that's why I'm saying it's sad, because this movie proved in 2008, no matter how disturbing the allegations he's made about his life as a child star.
Hey, man, but never Michael Jackson, all right? Michael Jackson never touched me, man.
Well, the whole thing is, he comes out very strong and has for years about rampant pedophilia in the movie industry, and yet he still worships and follows the example.
Oh, he's
of
my
a man
hero, man. It's still all my music.
May have in fact been a pedophile, but
what are the odds he tried to get a song in the soundtrack?
I know. Yes, he keeps wanting to be a music star.
Corey's Angels.
All of that
man.
aside, he reminds me of a Crispin Glover.
Yes,
someone whose real life peculiarities may disturb or make you not really, but every time you see them on screen, and in this case, I was sitting there going, Corey Feldman is still good. Corey Feldman can act. He's just a joke to most people, or someone that they feel weird about. But I thought watching this, I was like going, crap, man, this guy, I hope he has peace, but I also hope somewhere down the line, someone like a Tarantino digs him up and gives him a really good part. Because he was a talented young actor.
Always.
Oh, you're not agreeing with me at all.
Well,
I can see that. You're like, no.
Because I don't think he can ever really get over the joke status. I do think it is very tough not to be like, was that Feldman?
Yeah,
and I do think he's a talented guy, especially in the 80s. I think it would, I'm not saying it's impossible, but it would really take, it'd have to be a very specific right role that he would have to approach very seriously. And I think he takes everything sincerely. I've never seen him phone it in, but it's really tough to live down the music shit. That's the stuff.
Of course.
The viral clips.
Yeah, him dancing with Victoria's Secret models or something.
That's the thing is, I don't know that he could do it. I think he takes himself weirdly too seriously.
It's true.
The idea that he thinks the best legitimate pop music people would want to buy that's why I find those clips sad more than funny.
Here's the thing. All of that is still not defeating what I'm saying, which is
I agree.
The guy has the chops.
I agree he has the chops.
And
I think it's
you're
more of a
looking
broader
at him and going like, dude, if you could get your shit together, and if someone out there took a chance on you, as long as the drugs are gone, and I think he's been sober for a while.
I believe, I take him at his word on that, and certainly, I mean, we see it with, we'll talk about that post-credit scene, but the other Corey, of course, couldn't kick that and ended up dead. Man. And he's not looking great.
This is the last time they were on film together, right?
That's it, exactly, yeah.
Oof.
Because and actually, I don't know if you saw this in the trivia, originally the idea was to bring both of them back as major characters in this, but Haim was so fucked up on the drugs that they couldn't.
Yeah, the best they could do is a little button scene, which we'll talk about.
And a lot of that was Feldman going like, "Come on, man, give Corey a chance."
And who could ever fault their love for each other and their support?
That is what
they're going like. I want my buddy in there.
Yeah, and I think they both had. We've talked about Haim and both Silver Bullet.
Haim is crazy talented.
Lost Boys.
Haim was crazy talented.
And actually, I think probably of the two, could have really been something had he not gotten fucked up on the drugs.
He could, because he was actually, especially before the drugs, cute and handsome.
He was cute, and
a good actor.
And he had a little bit more range, I think. Feldman played Feldman, and that was a great. He carved out a niche.
Parts, they were always odd. I mean, but you look at him in Stand By Me or any. It's just like that guy can do stuff.
Yep.
So he makes me sad. Watching this made me sad.
It did,
because it was like, oh, too bad that the only times this movie takes off is when Edgar Frog is allowed to be Edgar Frog, and the way he would deliver any of those lines where it was like Edgar Frog was like surfboard shaper vampire hunter. Like, all right.
Because, I mean, I do a normal Corey Feldman, but when he's Edgar Frog, he's got a little bit
he's doing the gravelly voice.
In his voice. And he's
I'm
so psyched to be here, and he shouldn't
I was
be,
disappointed where it's like the main character goes, how do you know so much about this stuff? And then he goes, comic books. That's funny, but then they pull out
the worst looking...
the thing that pisses us off.
Yeah.
Is when you see a comic book in a movie that's clearly not like any comic book.
Drives me insane. We're both fans of the series Resident Alien. We've talked about this.
Yes.
And one of the things I like in that show, because it's produced by Dark Horse, the characters are always reading Dark Horse comics. And I'm like, well, thank God that's a Hellboy comic in someone's hand.
Yes, and there are word balloons, and it looked structured the way
that was the biggest thing to me. Where when they opened up this comic book, I was like, "You guys know that, like, famously, word balloons are part of. How do you not include that? My God, the laziness knows no bounds." And
I know.
the paper didn't look right. The art style would never be produced professionally.
They have the same pseudo Silver Age kind of cover on it.
Yeah, I also thought that was lazy,
we had in
too.
the first movie. Vampires everywhere, or whatever the name
which
of the
is iconic from the first movie, except for, once again, this is a you kind of nitpick for me, Brendan.
Yeah.
But I'm going like, he has the same comic?
Yeah, the same comic, and it's in mint condition.
And
it's apparently the source of all of his information when it comes to...
Yeah, he shouldn't say read comic books. He should have said, all you gotta do is read this comic.
All you have to do is read this comic that I've held on to since I was a kid.
And or it's in perfect condition, so I probably just keep buying reprints of it, I guess, because it's
I guess so.
A better movie would have had. If I had been doing this, and of course had the resources, I would have made it still vampires everywhere, but it would have looked like the 2000s gritty reboot of it.
What you would get in the 2000s.
Yeah. All right. So anyway, first, though, before we get to we skipped ahead a little bit to Frog Brothers because we got to talk about local guy who's hitting on Autumn Reeser, but is also telling her, you got to be careful. Bad things happen to women in this town.
Yeah, this is a character that doesn't get any fleshed. It doesn't get fleshed out at all, and you think that he might be important because he's so early in here.
And he's also, they keep bringing him back into it, and I keep going, oh, this guy, right? But yet there's no. He's weird. He's in the movie a lot for how little he's fleshed out.
Well, he's the actual innocent,
right.
As in she's only innocent until she gets wooed by main vampire. This guy is the really desperate nerd who is trying his best to flirt with and possibly date Autumn Reese's character, Nicole. But he just isn't featured enough to where you get to know the guy at all. He just shows up and says things like, you really should be careful around here. And, did that come off weird? Am I being weird?
Yeah, it's another...
And then all of us go, yes. Yes, you are.
Yeah, I think we're supposed to relate to this guy, people like you and I, Brennan, but no, he's awkward even by my standards.
He's awkward, and he goes, okay, well, look, I'm sorry I came off so weird. Yeah. Here's my number. Call me anytime you want to hang out. And she's like,
and
whatever.
That's just set up for something later, of course.
And basically the whole thing is, yes, that he will end up being chosen by vampire guys. I don't want to spoil the plot, but he will be kidnapped and meant to be her first kill.
Yeah.
And that is the only purpose this character will serve. At the end of the movie, it's not like he goes... Wow, we sure made it through that okay. Can I call you sometime?
Here's a real nitpick. You see his phone number? Did you see what
is it 555?
No, it's 000.
Oh, that's cool.
Which I just now looked up and is an Australian extension.
Well, perfect.
In fact, it's the emergency telephone number in Australia. It's their 911.
So that explains that court case that was the country of Australia versus Lost Boys.
Hi, what you doing?
Yeah.
Knock that shit off.
Because so many people who rented this were then tempted to call the character Evan. I
gotta talk to Evan. Grace, man,
is he okay? Did he ever end up with Nicole?
The names of the actors in this movie are crazier than their character names. The guy who plays Evan is Grayston Holt.
I know. Well, also they're all Canadian. I'm not saying that Canadians are weird. Sorry. Yeah. I'm just saying that they're all Canadian.
Actually, this guy goes on to a much better career than most of the leads.
Oh, no, I saw that. He has a long career in Canadian TV, a lot of stuff.
And did, he was on The Night Agent, which was a big hit on Netflix in 3 episodes. So he's popped into some big stuff. Also,
good for him. He
also
survived.
Hallmark stuff. Once again... I have no feeling about him anyway because he has nothing to do in this movie. So I can't really say if there was any potential or not from this.
Yeah.
So anyway, so they let's see.
I think pretty quickly
we meet.
He goes out and sits on the dock and watches the waves.
Oh, yeah.
Here's the
longingly.
thing I hate.
I miss surfing.
if you are a confident filmmaker, you can actually have that scene and the audience knows that he is watching the waves and he's missing the fact he was a professional surfer. This gives us flashbacks to surfing while he's watching the waves. And that is so lazy. I'm like, you don't need flashbacks or mental imagery. We know what he's sitting there being glum about. Jesus.
At no point in this movie does this director let anything be even remotely subtle or implied. No.
But we're not. This is not a Michael Mann. Down
just appears next to him.
Just appears next to him, and he turns around and goes, "Wow, you look exactly like the name of the character that before someone said you're the second best surfer next to that guy who disappeared."
Brendan, here you go. Here's great. We talk a lot about screenwriting and stuff. Here's a great thing. What's the name of the awesome surfer guy in this? It's Shane Powers.
Yes, Shane.
Boy, that's a first draft name, isn't it? That found its way into the finished script.
This will also date this, but the trailer for the upcoming Netflix movie Atlas. Came out. Yeah. Which stars Jennifer Lopez in a sci-fi epic,
which I've always wanted to see.
Yes, and
she fits so naturally.
Her character name is Atlas Shepard.
Oh God!
And I'm sitting there going, if you're having space adventures, you don't call a character Shepard.
Yeah.
Mass Effect has been around for a long time, and even people who haven't played it know the lead character that is called Shepard, famously.
Yeah.
Atlas Shepard is. It's like that. We always make fun of the names of the authors of the Left Behind series.
Oh God, yeah. Rayford Steele.
Yeah, it all sounds like comic book stuff, and sometimes I will use comic book in a derogatory term, but usually it means lazy writing and dumb writing.
Right.
Yeah, calling someone Shane Powers is just like,
it's me.
Fuck off, movie.
It's me, the most powerful vampire is named Shane Powers.
Yeah,
because that was the thing that was, but that also the original movie. The main vampire's name is David. Like they're all because they're all the Lost Boys, right? They're all just kids. So
well,
they all have sort of generic names.
This is our main vampire. This is the guy who's the leader of the tribe.
Yeah.
However, he was a professional, top surfer,
legend to the point where that guy goes, "You're second only to this fucking guy," you know.
And that was only a few years ago. So he's only been a vampire for a few years, whereas Kiefer Sutherland's character has been around over 150 or something like that.
I mean, doesn't he talk about coming from the Civil War and stuff like that in that movie?
Yes, and he turned that whole pack. They're his group,
right?
And they're from various times.
And you see that in the way they present themselves, and we'll particularly talk about when they get to the vampire lair in this, which the lair set in the original movie is so cool because it's the sunken-in hotel and stuff. Yeah,
and this is just a cave and a soundstage.
Yeah.
With a big screen TV while they play Call of Duty.
What is he, 5 years older? 10 at the most? Then
at the most. And so our lead character turns around and goes, "Man, you look so much like Shane Powers." He goes, "Maybe it's because I am."
Well, because he even talks about, no way, that guy disappeared.
And he's like, "Yeah, well, I just I took a different path."
And he's got. We should talk. You could look up there's a great photo on the IMDb that was clearly the promotional still of Angus Sutherland as Shane Powers, and he's sitting there with his sunglasses. He's got the long hair and and he's in a coat and he's staring out the ocean. Hot. And it is the thing where it's like you are trying to be cool, where your brother was cool in that movie.
Yeah,
he didn't have to play cool.
Honest to God, I don't think, even though I love its iconic look, if they had gotten rid of the mullets and the punky weird clothes. Mm-hmm. You still would have been riveted by that guy because there's a thing that Kiefer Sutherland has.
He and Donald, and in different ways. But there is that thing that you realize when you see something like this. You're like, oh right, what separates a star? Right, is just you are just compelled by him.
Yep.
And this guy he's trying. He's in the words that these surfers would probably use. He's a poser.
He's a poser.
It's what we talked about James Woods in Vampires, right? And James Woods actually is an incredibly compelling actor, but you're watching a guy be I'm an action hero.
Look at me, action hero man. Yeah.
Because, that was supposed to be Kurt Russell, who can just do that shit. I still think it's insane to me that there was a world, a time in cinema when a studio went, no, Carpenter, don't put Kurt Russell, get James Woods. That's the better business decision. Are you out of your mind? Anyway, but he goes, yeah, man, I know you used to be a surfer too. Why don't you come to my house tonight for a party? And then, boy, I wrote down several lines in this movie that are so bad, and this is one of them. He goes, you can meet their friends. You can meet my friends. They're killer.
Yes, there are many.
And I almost threw up.
Yeah. Actually, to tell you the truth, John, you still have a little on your shirt.
Oh, God. Yeah, that's another thing, too. Not just the smell of the movie, but my own vomit from watching the movie have now merged, and I have to move because I can't get the smell out.
Little Campbell.
Oh, God. Well, and then, boy, I threw up again when that fucking cover of that song plays.
And you know, if you're going to pick your moment for the cover of a song that's from the original, is that if you're going to pick your moment to have that in there, have it be something much more dramatic than literally the main guy leading Nicole into what looks like a breaker station out by some sort of electrical tower.
Well, here's what. Yeah, I know. They can't though. That's just dramatic.
Let me open this door for you. Here you go. Now I'm leading you into our spooky lair, which isn't spooky, and they're playing that, and then they'll have sex.
Yeah, but think about it, right? That's his little sister.
Oh, well, except for that isn't, because that's Shane Powers leading her in there.
No, but but it's cutting between.
But yes, this is the story of the brother and sister.
I know. I swear, it's almost like they wrote this movie going, "How do we make this song literal?" Yeah. Because it's a killer track, as we've talked about in the previous movie.
It's so good.
It's an amazing. It's like one of my favorite movie theme songs. It's a great one.
So good.
Yeah, it's a great one. And this one, you know what I loved is I Googled this song to try to find out who did the cover, and I had to work to find this cover. It made no impact on the world at all.
Yeah, and the band I haven't heard of.
Nope, the band was totally no. Did you also see? I don't know where it is because I did not bother to do the research
because I didn't.
The music is terrible, but one of the song I was looking at just the soundtrack listings for this, and one of the songs is by the director.
Oh, I didn't notice that. Oh, that's awesome. This guy was sitting there going, this is my movie.
He's also in the movie. Yeah, Wish You Were Here, written by P.J. Pesky, performed by P.J. and the Chile-Rianos is his band.
I hate everything you just said.
P.J. and the Chile-Rianos.
Everything that just came out of your mouth has to be retracted.
Yeah. But I'm sure he said no to Feldman's track once again. Come on, man, it's really good. It's about vampires.
Yeah, and Corey's Angels do the backup.
Yeah, man. Hey, are there any parts for sex? Well, actually, I wouldn't be surprised. This sexy girl they meet at the party could have been one of Corey's Angels, for all I know. Because
were you at least surprised that this movie was like, hey, you know what the original missed? Actual boobs, because this one has nudity and the other one didn't.
But you know what else I thought was interesting was how little it was all like fleeting nudity, which I was shocked at showing any restraint.
That was them going like, let's take it someplace, but let's not be obnoxious about it.
But you're the fucking straight to video Lost Boys sequel. I can't believe it.
It can't hear you, man.
Yeah.
It can't hear you.
But no, I know it's incredible. So, because the whole thing is, he goes, yeah, I met this guy. He got invited to the party. I got invited to this party. And it's Autumn Reese who goes, we should go. And because this main character is such a mope bag the whole movie. He's
a mope bag.
He's just like, no, it's not going to be cool.
Yeah, man.
And
then finally, comedic relief, and that's not really true.
No.
But Aunt shows up saying, hey, we're going to hang out tonight, my nephew and niece, and we're going to watch The Goonies and eat food. And then they're like,
wait,
we've got to get out of here.
Wait, Brendan, did you say The Goonies? Why?
I did.
Why, that doesn't have any connection to this, does it?
Nope.
That's one of those, once again, I just rolled my eyes at that, The Goonies.
Oh, no, you'd never stop rolling your eyes at this movie, so it's not even
it's not rolling my eyes. I actually had to see an optometrist earlier today after watching this to get my eyes to stop rolling.
They won't stop, Doctor. What can I do?
Oh, no.
Just keep rolling.
It's another Lost Boys, the Tribe-related incident. But yes, of course,
Lost Boys, the Tribe?
The Goonies not only has Corey Feldman, it was directed by Richard Donner, who produced The Lost Boys.
Yep.
Amazing.
So, but they look at her,
and that's when he's like,
"That's the worst thing in the world. Let's get out of here."
Which, by the way,
sorry,
sounds like a great fucking night to me. But that's
Yeah, I would much rather have watched the Goonies than hang out with a bunch of bros.
Yeah,
they are broy.
Because they go, so they go to the party, and immediately the first person they run into at the party is the guy who got injured.
Yep.
In whatever they never actually say what happened.
No, they did briefly. It was sort of at the beginning, like, man, when you got kicked out because you clipped that guy in the leg and it ruined his career or something.
Anyway, though, but he's there
and he sees him. He's like, man, sorry about your leg and all that. And then this guy, of course, is like, fuck you, man. I'm going to start a fight right here.
Well, and of course, he's sexually harassed. He goes, your sister, man, is smoking hot.
Oh, yeah. I haven't seen her in a while. She's growing up nice.
Because she's 17, but looks like she's in her late 20s.
She is legal in all ways except plot.
Yeah.
Plot-wise, she's illegal, but
I love the idea, once again, of this guy's a vampire now. And he's still like, but you ruined my surf career, bro. It's like, maybe when you move to vampirism, you go to the other...
This guy is even closer in age and time frame to our lead.
Yep.
So that means he's been a vampire for what, 12 months?
Yeah.
It's been like a year?
I'm coming. Hey, man, next month you got to come to my anniversary of being a vampire party.
What is the point of having the tribe all be people that are completely contemporary of our lead? They don't have that vampire immortality, sort of ennui. They're all literally vampires over the last 3 weeks.
Actually, I'm just now thinking, you know what it is? It's because they were supposed to be werewolves, which aren't as inherently immortal creatures as vampires. So that's what it was.
And are also known to party much harder than
oh man, you ever been to a werewolf party, bro?
So this basically becomes even though I did think there were even stronger homoerotic vibes between lead guy and lead vampire when they meet.
Unquestionably.
This movie wants to correct that, because immediately Shane Powers is like, I'm going after Nicole, and
wait, are you implying that a Joel Schumacher movie had homoerotic aspects to it?
No, I'm saying in this movie.
No, I'm saying compared to the original.
In the original, movie. Yes, of course.
Yeah.
But I'd say this is going for the same thing, only it drops it immediately because it's it's like no. And so here it's like, hey, why don't you go talk to Hobag, which is I think the character's name, who's clearly the sexy vampire girl of
her
the
name
tribe.
Is Lisa, and I think they only say her name after she's dead.
Quite possibly, yeah, because
they say you killed Lisa.
Are you gonna make your move on me? Just gonna stand there gawking? I'm gonna get naked, go in the shower, we'll have sex immediately.
She's wearing a red bikini, but also like
she's got veils.
And she's doing this. And immediately I'd just be like, all right, this is a vampire party, right? Like the way she's dancing, what she's wearing.
Even if
not a
he
normal
had no
thing.
idea that vampires existed, he would be like, this is a vampire party, right?
Yeah.
All of you are clearly the undead, right? Okay.
Yeah, it's just like, no one, you've never seen anyone look like this at a party. Anyway,
no.
Another, of course, Vancouver native, this woman. Her name is Monica Delaney.
Well, it wasn't surprising to see most of these people had been at least on a couple of episodes of Smallville.
She has a Smallville, and she has 3 Smallvilles, a couple Supernaturals, and a Psych. So
I'll see you your Psych, and I'll raise you.
Oh, wait. I'm sorry. Lest I forget, a Battlestar Galactica is in there for her, too.
Perfect. Yeah, you got to have that.
Where she played the unforgettable character.
She was probably part of that Nexium cult. That's perfect.
Well, they did come for those people, man. If you were on those shows.
They went hard for those Canadian
If you were on Smallville or Battlestar Galactica, you definitely got involved in that.
Yep.
But anyway, surprise, primarily a dancer. Because in most of the shows, by the way, she played hot girl at party or blonde woman or something like that.
And I will say, she's quite attractive.
Well, and of course, it then leads to this insane and unnecessary shower sex scene that goes on for longer than I was expecting.
Well, what I love is that they just keep cutting back and forth. It's like, let's go spend some time with Shane and Nicole, where they really rushed the whole thing. Like, he just meets her and he's like, drink this. This is the bottle of the blood stuff that I'm going to tell you is a special drink of ours.
He's also, and this character is so poorly written, he's spouting all the worst, like, hipster, zen, surfer guy nonsense.
Yeah, and stuff about, it's like, death, man. Death is just a door to a different... it's all that kind of nonsense, and you're like, wow, does that get you far? Yeah, and apparently it does.
I guess. I mean, he's a pretty hunky dude, I guess.
Sure.
But he's just so boring. That's the thing. He's just so dull. God. Yeah. He's probably more conventionally handsome than Kiefer, but just not as interesting.
Yes.
No. Yeah.
Just like all of the... He actually would have been a much better werewolf, because I've always thought that Kiefer and Donald and all the Sutherlands have a vulpine, lupine... vulpine is foxes. Lupine kind of set their features.
Absolutely. And I will say, much better used in a film called Freeway, where Kiefer Sutherland plays the big bad wolf guy. I love that movie. That movie's insane.
I'm glad you're aware of it, because that was an indie thing that it did get some notice when it came out, but I always thought it didn't get enough notice.
Insane and so much fun. I highly recommend
it. And it is Reese Witherspoon at the very beginning of her being awesome.
Which is my favorite era of Reese Witherspoon, before she became aware she was Reese Witherspoon.
And then tells cops, "Do you know who I am?" Yeah,
that really soured me on her. Look. Now I will say, every time I see her, and it's probably not fair, but I do think that.
Yep.
She and that's in the back of my head. She's very talented, but it is like, she knows who she is, though.
Yeah, she does. And I know who she is.
Yeah, but election, Pleasantville, all that stuff. She's amazing.
Oh,
yeah.
Pick
flick, man. I do hope that they do make that next one, and I'm sure it's already out by the time we're.
Yep.
Yeah, it's Alexander Payne's already made Tracy Flick Can't Win. All right.
Can't wait.
Yes. And of course, local nerd guy is back. I don't know how he even became aware of this party, but he's trying to get in to talk to her while Shane is making her drink blood. And
then keep cutting back to the brother getting laid in the shower.
I know. I love when she goes, "Hey, we're not finished." I'm like, really? It seems like you've been having sex for 3 hours at this party. Yeah. Also, I just love the idea of my sister and I go to this party. All right, see you, sis. I'm going to go fuck a woman in a shower.
Well, it gets even
for
more
a long period of time
when she shows up at the cabin, and she's like, "Let's finish where we started." And he's like, "My sister is literally in the next room."
Yeah.
And she's like, "Yeah, you gonna let that bother you?"
Yeah.
Apparently not.
Apparently not. The only thing that really turns him off when that happens is that she tries to bite his throat.
Yeah.
He didn't like that. I guess that's, I gotta say though, don't kink shame her, man. That's what she's into.
Don't kink shame her. That's a really good way of
So he does, Sutherland, because he gives her the blood, and Anna Marie's like, "Oh man, I feel so weird." He's like, "You know what'll make you feel better? A ride on my sweet motorcycle."
Jesus Christ.
Because I'm an extreme athlete. This movie has surfing, motorcycles, skateboards. It's fucking cool, man. These are way cooler than the vampires of the original.
Missed that it was co-written by Dan Cortez.
MTV's Dan Cortez.
Yes.
Best thing he ever did was his episode of Seinfeld, where the whole joke is just that he's an idiot.
Yep. But
he's handsome.
He was at least self-aware enough to go,
yeah,
that sounds good. Let's do that.
Jerry describes him as a mimbo. He's a male bimbo.
He's a mimbo, indeed.
Yeah. It's a great episode. So yes, he takes her out on the bike. But I will say, the one thing I did think about when I'm like, okay, so they're surfing, they're on motorcycles. You know what I don't really see them doing is flying like they did in the original movie.
No.
Because
and
there's
what's great
no
about
money.
The flying in the original movie is that is a guy who had a studio budget, but still was like, you know what would be more effective is just a swooping camera and you hear them. And it's like, Joel Schumacher was not the world's greatest filmmaker, but he had great sensibilities and
incredible sensibilities. And if Schumacher was not the world's greatest filmmaker, you're right. But boy, if he had the right script and it matched up with him, he really he had a specific take on stuff.
Yep.
And he could really deliver. And that's why I do think, as we talked about, he dropped the ball on Phantom, even though I think there were a lot of reasons he was actually really right for that.
Yes.
Yeah, but
Yes.
yeah. Anyway, so they're out riding around on motorcycles, and I was shocked we actually saw them riding the motorcycle once again. I'm like, man, they had budget to take this guy out, and it wasn't a green screen.
Yeah.
Although it's still not really super well shot. Like they're clearly just cruising around the streets of Vancouver on this thing. But,
right.
And we didn't talk about him bringing the dead Rose back to life either. That's his big move.
Oh Christ!
Yeah.
How did you do that? I didn't do it. We did it.
Yeah, and that's what I'm just talking about. Like, if you take out the supernatural aspect of this stuff, this guy's so lame. He's doing basically a magic trick, and then going like, "It was our energy, baby.
It was our energy."
Yeah.
Hold on to that dead Rose. I'm about to do something, and it's going to get you so turned on that you're not going to question anything I'm going to do
really
from here on out.
So then he I guess doesn't finish the shower sex according to dialogue.
No, he leaves our main character because he's worried about his sister.
That's great. Yeah, I mean, I guess that's noble. But he comes out and he's all pissed off because, of course, he comes outside just as he's returning her on the motorcycle. He's like, "Whoa, bro! You take my sister out on a motorcycle? You fucking crazy!" And he punches. And then once again, because this guy's so cool, the main character punches Angus Sutherland, Shane Powers, and the other his Lost Boys, of course, are gonna now fuck this guy up. And he's like, "No, man, let him go. It's cool. Let him go. We're cool." And then because he's a vampire, licks the blood coming out of his nose too.
Yeah,
I'm a vampire.
Yeah,
really should have figured it out.
The scene by going vampire.
They really should have. If they had just listened, this whole movie could have been avoided because he does say, "I'm a vampire."
I'm a vampire. I'm a vampire.
Oh man, this needs the energy. This needs the energy of anyone remotely like a Cage. There's no one who is like. I mean, it's Feldman is the only like energy in the movie. Really,
that's what I'm saying. Yeah,
but he's not in it enough for it to matter.
No, not enough to matter. It doesn't lift this movie.
No.
It just gives it a pulse whenever he's there.
Yeah. Hey, you guys need Feldman in this? Not today. Okay.
Okay. Catch you later, guys.
By the way, are these sandwiches free?
That's mean, but it's probably absolutely correct.
No, it is like, well, I do love when they go, he was hesitant to return in the trivia. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I'm sure he was like, I don't know, man.
He wanted to make sure it was good.
I want to see a script. Right. But I just love the idea of he gave some interview, he goes like, I wasn't sure if I was going to come back, but then I read this script and I was like, oh, they're doing it. Shut the fuck up, Feldman. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Because also, if that's true, then you have the worst taste I've ever seen him at. If you're like, this script, man. And
they really brought in a really good guy. He was everything worked.
He really gets it. And I do remember some of the interviews with him at the time. Because, of course, they sent him out to go like, this really continues the legacy, man. You know, it really picks up where Schumacher left off. Schumacher's still alive at this point, too, which means he might have seen this, which really makes me sad.
He was,
I think this is actually what
famously,
killed him.
he kept trying to get a sequel made, which would have been called Lost Girls, and it never happened. And we can only speculate what that might have been.
I have recommended before on our Lost Boys episode, and I recommended again, Tim Seeley's Vertigo series, The Lost Boys, where he wrote a comic book sequel to the movie that is very, very good and really does feel like, I don't know if it's actually what The Lost Girls would have been, but it feels like if it had been that, it would have been great. It actually feels like Lost Boys too. All I can
say is it did focus on the bare-chested saxophonist.
It does. Part of it does.
And also, this movie gives us a bare-chested saxophonist at the very beginning.
Yeah.
And it's not the same guy. It's a fat guy. Like,
and it's one of those things where you go like, who is that for? Like, you think that's for the fans? I didn't enjoy that. So anyway, then you get, I mean, once again, this guy's, I hate this main character because he's driving Autumn Reeser home and he's just going, how could you be so stupid going off with some guy like that? You don't even know that guy, man. And it's just like, God, shut up.
Yeah, he's very protective older brother. I will say, it would have made more sense if they had told us earlier in the movie that she's 17, because we still don't know at this point.
not till
because
later.
there's mention of college at the very beginning,
Yeah.
and so it's not till later we realize that she's only 17.
Right.
It would be more. It would make a lot more sense.
And it would
if
also,
we knew going in.
If we knew that, and two, and I'm glad she's here because I like her. But if you would cast an actress who reads younger, they read as the same age.
Yeah, they do.
It doesn't really read as my kid sister. And I don't know how old he's supposed to be, because obviously he's a bit older. I mean, I guess you could turn pro surfer probably pretty young. I don't know. But he's got to be in his mid-20s if he had enough time to establish himself and to get thrown out, which I don't think happened yesterday. And then their parents died.
I know.
Yeah. So anyway,
harsh.
when she comes home, he's still yelling at her, and then finally a monster voice comes out of her, and she picks him up by the neck, and then I don't know how Feldman ends up here, but somehow Edgar Frog shows up to clock her upside the head with a surfboard.
Well, I don't know how he would have picked the perfect timing, but he was just responding to the note that our hero guy left at his trailer when he was looking for work.
Which, by the way, though, that note said something like, "Come to my house. Here's my address. Not, just call me." Yeah. No, man, I do this all in person, and I show up in the middle of the night to interview prospective,
he
new
sure
recruits.
Does. And this is where he introduces himself as Edgar Frog, surfboard shaper,
vampire hunter.
Vampire hunter. Your sister is a suckhead. A suck monkey.
Suckhead is Blade. You can't use that Marvel soup.
No, that's true.
She's a suck monkey.
She's a suck monkey.
And he's like, whatever. And so then, once the pacing of the structure of this movie is so bad,
it's
because
perfect.
then
sorry.
he's just
I thought you were going to say perfect.
I always confuse those two words. But he leaves so that the sexy vampire girl can come over, because they're like, all right, well, she's unconscious for now. I guess we'll just put her to bed.
Yeah, it's weird that Edgar gives the whole thing, not the whole speech.
No,
because
we'll get that later.
Your sister is a vampire.
I think he does say Nosferatu, the undead, something like that. Yeah,
and then he leaves, and then sexy lady from the shower comes over and says, "We got to pick up where we've left off."
People are just coming in and out of this house like a sitcom.
Yeah, and then let's have sex right here while your unconscious sister is right over there. And he's like, okay. He actually says it with that voice.
That would have been nice too if maybe I would have bought this a little bit more. And I don't think this. Well, they did have some kind of mind control powers in the original movie. Yeah. So it would have been nice if you had felt he was under a spell or something, at least a little bit at this point. Then I would have followed. Instead, they kind of made him go like, we can just fuck right in front of my unconscious sister.
And he's kind of like, all right. And then she also, I think, says the gross thing of like, hey, if she wakes up, she can join us. I'm down with that.
And that would be, I would say that would be the absolute end of any sexual attraction to someone for me. I would say that's a hard limit for mine.
Yeah, that's a gross. That's a gross.
What's the opposite of an erection? Because I think
it's a derection. I think.
Yeah, that's
it
not
withdraws within the body cavity.
That's not going to be usable for a while now.
My god.
Yeah, a good one. Anyway, though,
he's having sex with her, and she's starting to vamp out, which freaks him out. Yeah. He's like, "What? Oh no!"
Oh, and they set this up because earlier when they were moving in, they found these like deer antlers or elk antlers or whatever
up on the wall,
and they were like, "Hey man, this is crazy. We should put this up on the wall." And it's just so he can push this vampire woman, and she gets impaled.
While they're humping and bumping on the table, and she's freaking out, they are making sure we see that right behind her are those antlers.
And you're just
when he pushes her off of him, like, cut it out.
Waiting.
Yep. We're all just like, it's coming.
Yeah.
She gets impaled, and I do like later on they reiterate, no two vamps go out the same way. So in her case, they're like, let's try this effect we haven't used.
Yeah. By the way, I don't think that's the case in the original movie, only in that they kill vampires in different ways, so different things happen.
Actually, I think they do say that in the first one.
I'm trying to remember, I don't know though.
Some of them explode, some of them go.
Maybe
she turns into porcelain.
Yes.
Cracks and then explodes in like sparkly dust.
Yeah, because
also that's the skin of a killer is something that I've just learned.
See last week's episode.
I had not learned that.
Footnote: see last week's episode. Yeah.
See?
Yeah.
You mean here
last week's episode. So then the next day he goes to Feldman, and this is where we learn some tragic news, because he goes, I know what it's like to lose a sibling to the undead. And you're like, no, the other Frog brother died?
Apparently so.
Although,
or at least became the undead.
And I will say, Brendan, mild spoilers, the other Frog brother does come back in the third movie.
I do know that. Yeah. I do know that the third one.
Jason Newlander does come back.
Thank God, because he was the glue that held the whole thing.
I'm sorry, not Jason. Jameson Newlander.
Jameson, right. Jameson another one of those names.
Newlander, who actually has continued working and stuff, of course. But
good.
Yeah. Alan Frog does come back. So I'm curious, because I don't know
Edgar
anything.
And Alan.
I do not know. What?
Right?
That actually does make sense if their parents were like huge nerds who owned a comic book store, though.
Yeah.
I'll go with that. And also, that's from the original movie, which was good and well written.
Yes.
So yeah, he goes here and he goes, I don't know what happened, man. She fell on a thing, and he's just like, yeah, you got to pierce the heart of a vampire. It doesn't matter with what. And of course, you can't make a vampire movie without him going, I thought it had to be a wooden stake. He's like, myth, total myth.
Yep.
Stupid.
Well, it's also later when he's trying to infiltrate. By the way, the logic in this movie is totally stupid. And Edgar Frog is awesome in this movie, except for when he's forced to say dumb things because of the writing.
Horribly dumb things, yeah, a lot.
Because the whole thing of the whole idea that the only way we're going to find out where they nest is if you infiltrate. And I'm sitting there going, Santa Clara is a small town, and we already know it had a demolished hotel. Well, so if you're trying to think of another place, maybe a mine shaft. Yeah, maybe.
Also,
that would
I'm
be
going
place.
like, I don't think that they had to do that to find the cave in the last
That's
movie.
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
They did not need him to become half a vampire.
It's the only way.
That's the only way, according to the script.
Yeah.
But yes,
hold on, let me check
with them.
Yep, okay, that's right here on the bun.
Before they have their extreme sports fuck with the cop scene.
What a thrilling piece of action that was.
So can you guys turn into bats? So there's more of that in the movie where it's like, no, man, we can't do that shit. You watch too many movies.
But, we used to, the previous generation did fly. They didn't turn to bats, but they did fly. We can't do that except for one very brief moment where Angus Sutherland kind of floats down in the final moment, but he doesn't really fly. So these vampires are much lamer. And them being chased by the cops is nowhere near as cool as the iconic stuff of them hanging off the bridge.
Again, just because we watched it so recently, I'm watching this thing, and all I could wish is that Ely had come over to America and wiped all of these motherfuckers off.
Take them down.
Take
them down. Absolutely. I gotta say, man, I might have enjoyed Twilight more than this movie. That's a tough one. It's a tough one. Twilight is more polished at the very least.
It's more polished.
It's got huge
we know that these are good actors that are stuck in bad material, and here we're waiting for anyone to show.
This was more painful, I guess, than that too.
Promise.
And I don't care about Twilight, and I do care about the Lost Boys. So yes, I do think that is fair. Actually, as I think
Lost Boys is so good.
Lost Boys is it just made me want to go back and watch the original, which I guess works for Warner Brothers too, because they're like, great, then rent that and give us more money.
Yes,
I definitely do own a copy of that, though. Of course,
I own it as well.
How can you not? You have to, because I do put that on a lot. Anyway, we do find out. He goes, "So, my God, am I gonna have to kill my sister?" He goes, "Well, there's one way to save her. If you kill the head vampire, it'll free her of the curse." And
what I love is that Edgar Frog comes in immediately ready to stake her.
Yeah.
And then when the brother asks, he goes, "Well, she's only half a vampire right now, and you could probably save her." It's like, so how many people have you just wiped out, Edgar, that you might have been able to save?
Apparently not his friend Sam, as we'll learn at the end of the movie, but at the very end of it. But
that's hard.
Or his brother, I guess, since the next movie. But
that's
there's no question that they wanted both Corys in the third one, right? And then they ended up settling for the other Frog because Haim couldn't get it together. But he's also drinking frog juice. It's garlic,
frog juice,
holy water,
garlic and holy water,
and raw
eggs. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, but the whole thing is she won't fully turn until she kills someone. She drank the vampire's blood, but until she kills someone, she's not fully a vampire.
Right.
Which then, of course, because once again, this script can't spend any time because it's like 84 minutes. We immediately cut to her calling that local guy.
Yep.
And he's like, gosh, sure, I'll come over.
She's feeling the hunger bad. She doesn't even know.
Oh, they're
what
doing
she
this
is
stuttery
yet.
cutting thing too, to ever kind of like,
Yeah.
You know.
And then she's like, and then she looks she has the guy's number that he had written down.
Yeah.
And basically, I like that later the brother has to tell her.
Yeah.
He goes, you weren't calling him to hang out. You were calling to eat him.
Yeah.
And she's like, what? As if
because she takes the exact same approach as Sexy Vampire. He comes over. Autumn Reese are not going to take her top off in this, of course.
No.
No surprise there. But
however, I was surprised to see, and because I had seen it in the past, that's when I realized she was in that other sequel this guy directed.
Oh, Smoking Aces 2.
Yeah,
Assassin's
and
Ball.
she does go naked in that one, and I'm like,
does she?
At what point did you need to do that?
I didn't catch that one, believe it or not. I love.
I
No
did
shock.
see it, and it was one of those like it's on, and I have cable.
Oh,
and
wow.
So yeah, I've seen it.
That's too bad
It's
because
not-
I'm a big fan of Smoking Aces.
Smoking Aces is fun, and so
Yeah.
that's why I wanted to give the sequel a go, and it's not worth it.
Well, 'cause it's
even
not-
for Autumn Reeser apparently lowering her standards.
Yeah, God.
Oh, that's harsh. I just judged. I'm taking it back. Sorry.
Well,
Autumn,
it's just
please don't get mad.
Like I said, she's continually been an actress who it's unfortunate that she doesn't get material that's at her level.
I know.
Yeah.
Again, everybody go listen to Thrilling Adventure Hour.
She's so good on there.
It's worth re-listening to all like from the beginning. It's so good.
It's
Anyway.
one of the best things ever.
Okay.
So she aggressively comes after this guy, and then before she can bite him, the brother comes in and is like,
Stops her.
Yeah, stops her, throws this guy out, so you get to see him going, ooh, what's going on? The guys, I
actually thought it's a total throwaway, but the shot of because she's seducing him, so Nerd Dude is down to his skivvies and like jeans, his shirt's off, and when the brother comes up and just shoves him out. And the nerd doesn't know what this is about. He thinks that the brother's upset and he's like, "Oh, I wasn't gonna let it happen. Nothing happened. We were just."
Yeah.
But the one shot of nerd guy just slumped, shoulders down, outside the place. I was like, going, "That's a very poetic shot." It was a perfect loser guy shot where he's standing there with his shirt just sort of in his hands, and he's just got his belly poking out, and he's standing there, and it is like, oh, that should be like a painting. That should be a poster of the sad loser man. So good on you, director. By the way, how much is that blue filter? I hope you got your money's worth, because I think you did.
I like that.
Why would you make Canada look more Canadian?
That is a weird choice. It actually feels like this is an example of like, can you call up whoever shoots Michael Bay movies and get that orange filter?
Yeah. What you needed to do is find some artificial means of ramping up the sun.
Yeah.
And they went the other way.
I was also thinking about like a lot of Tony Scott movies where just that almost like bleached out sort of white. You know, anything to imply more sunlight than you're getting. Instead, he's like, clearly, I mean, that speaks to this guy that he's just like, horror movie, make it darker.
I think that's exactly it. And it's almost as if he's hoping people will forget this is supposed to be Southern California. Sorry, you're dealing with surfing vampires.
Well, and like you say,
there's not a chance for
it's also like, did he not look at the other film, which is so bright and sunny and nope, and vivid. It's a vivid. That's one thing so cool about it. It has such vivid colors in it.
That is the whole. Well, that's very much Joel Schumacher's thing. But it's also
Schumacher making something with vivid color. I've never.
Yeah, it's
never
perfect if you're doing something that is about
what if
Southern California vampires.
Follow me. What if Gotham City had blacklight painted gangs?
That would be awesome.
Now,
also, what if every one of the huge naked guy statues that Gotham has, what if they were outlined in neon?
Yeah.
Yeah, you with me on this?
Yeah, I like it. We should call Warner Brothers. I think we've got a take for Batman. This could be huge.
We do.
This could
Make
be big.
sure we include the Bat American Express card.
Yeah.
He never leaves home without it.
Never leaves home without it. Yikes. Okay, so anyway, he explains this way. He goes, you got to listen to me, you're a vampire. She's like, that's crazy. There are no vampires. He's like, really? Then check this out. Holds up a mirror, no reflection. Boom. She's like, oh, shit, I am a vampire.
Yeah. Again, that's exact dialogue. John didn't make that up. She goes, oh, shit, I'm a vampire.
And so, yeah, she's on board now. She understands what the situation is, although we'll talk about the decision she makes post that decision, but that knowledge. But
no, there's again, she's got this horribly written character that you want to be rooting. Like in the case of Jason Patrick, you see why he's seduced, but you're also watching him struggle. This is someone who just goes, he's just so hunky. I just want to be with him forever.
One of the things that really works in The Lost Boys is that it's a two-front seduction, right? There's Kiefer's seduction of power and stuff like that, and then there's also Jamie Gertz, who is a conflicted vampire character.
But she's also the honey trap.
Right.
Which is kind of what they were kind of doing with Lisa in this, but again, it doesn't work at all.
But then they get rid of that character. So that's the thing. It's like you understand. It's because everybody here is so clearly a piece of shit. The original Lost Boys, they seemed cool. He has this connection with Jamie Gertz, who is written as a character.
You care about them as family. You care about them as individuals.
There's the little kid character too. It's just every character, even if they're like the henchman vampires and stuff like Alex Winter. There's some thought put to it from the writing, directing, and acting standpoint.
Here it's just nothing.
They like the douchey guy who has a vendetta against our main character doesn't really read any differently than just the other assholes who hang out with Shane.
One of them has an accent, a Jamaican accent, and the other guy giggles a lot. And that's kind of the only way you can. And then there's the angry surfer dude.
Never seen a giggling henchman before. Wow. Bold.
He seems to really enjoy being evil.
Yeah. Wow. That's crazy. I do like when there's the scene where he gives him like, I met him when he did this thing, and you just go like, does any of that matter?
No. None of that matters. I when I said there were like three things I liked.
Yeah.
The opening is one of them.
Yep.
Corey Feldman being fully on board to be Edgar Frog, even if it's below him and the character.
Yeah.
And the third thing was the one thing at the party, which was pretty funny as far as a vampire thing goes, where like one of the tribe is hitting on some chick and the other guy just goes up and guts him, stabs him, and and literally his intestines fall out. And instead of and people are screaming because they see this happening, but and the vampire's just going, dudes, you dicks, and he's shoving it. He's like, this is my favorite shirt, and he's shoving his guts back in. I enjoyed that moment.
But then they do it later too, like that's their thing.
Yeah, that's the problem. Is that is like, oh no, we're gonna see it again.
Yeah, it is one of those things where it's almost like they were like, hey, that worked. Can we put that in later? And you're like, no.
Yeah.
Because I will say that's another big thing. But you did call it Lost Boys too, so it's on the filmmakers for me to compare it. This isn't funny. And the original movie is actually pretty funny. That's the other thing that kind of set it apart. We sort of talked about it was sort of a precursor to the kind of stuff we would later see in Buffy the Vampire Slayer and things like that. Yes. Any attempt at humor, and there aren't even that many attempts. Honestly, this thing really doesn't even try to be that funny. But when it does, it's a disaster. And even Feldman does his best, but God, the one-liners they give him. So they're searching for the nest, and yes, it's literally poor. I do feel bad for Feldman because he's sitting there circling a map of the town, going, "No, it can't be there. It wouldn't be here either." And you're just like, what evidence are you looking at that are going? What is making him look at things on a map and go, "No"?
Plus, okay, here's the thing: that Edgar Frog has been in Santa Clara all these years. Knows it has vampires.
It's Santa Carla. By the way, Brandon, it's Santa Carla. And I only say that because we're gonna get comments.
Santa Carla, sorry.
Yeah.
But he's been there his whole life. He knows they're vampires. And yet he isn't aware that this tribe has been around, even if it's only been a couple years.
Well, it does.
And it's like he's only now actively pursuing them because he met this guy.
Yeah, it does feel like this is like 20 years after the first movie. Why would vampires, number one, keep coming to Santa Carla? And two, because like, if Edgar Frog's still alive and fighting vampires, wouldn't the vampires kind of move on maybe? Instead, they're like, there's this guy who keeps killing all of us.
Like I said before, in a town this small, there could not really be places he wasn't aware that vampires could. So this whole like detective thing of, well, you got to find a place. It's not just got to be dark.
Yeah.
It's got to be a place that's full of sorrow and trauma.
Yeah.
That's where I'm like, well, okay, you've had years to find other places where they might
just go
roost
and
in
burn
your
down
hometown.
all of those places, right? Just destroy anywhere they could be.
Yeah, and why haven't you been doing that for 20 years?
Yeah,
Why was there a tribe that could settle in?
And they do the thing when he goes to the sheriff's station to report his sister missing. They do the thing once again, like the first movie. They go, well, a lot of people go missing in this town. You're like, still, decades of that would really be like, what the fuck is happening?
Yeah, maybe people should stop moving there.
Yeah. Well, that actually might have another take they could have done, and this is actually, and I'm not just doing this to fix the movie, but really with their budget, is make it more of a ghost town. They've been forced to move to this once booming city that is now
that could actually have been a plot point. Yes.
And then that would make sense that Frog is out in the middle of, because once again you go like, is that part of this sunny beach town? Supposedly a maybe sunny beach town,
supposed sunny beach town.
But the idea is like that's on the outskirts of it, is this like rock quarry fucking dump where it's like that doesn't make any sense.
Apparently it does.
Yeah.
Maybe you didn't watch a film that I happened to watch, which was called Lost Boys: The Tribe.
Not to be confused with Lost Boys: The Thirst, which unfortunately we will get in a few weeks. Because
Thank God it's a few weeks.
We've got to complete the trilogy.
Yes.
So So this is, and then while they're looking for, also great work, guys, not keeping an eye on Autumn Reeser at all, because she gets summoned, by Nicole.
Yes.
Which does imply some level of mental powers from
I
Shane
guess
Powers.
now that they've kind of have they screwed yet? No, they're about
No,
to.
this is the scene, because this is this is where we start. It's on this that we hear the dun 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 dun.
Yeah.
Last
Kid.
Yeah. Done by it's a band with a stupid name.
It's like a one-word name.
Yeah, I'll find it here, but it's not good. No, that's not it. Aiden.
So it's named after someone you probably had in your high school homeroom.
Yeah. The sad thing is that I do recognize some of the bands that have songs in this. I'm surprised they could afford anything, like Eagles of Death Metal and Blind Melon. Seether. Well, if it was a movie in the mid to late 2000s, Seether had a song. That was just a given.
Yep.
I don't think I saw a movie that didn't have a Seether track in it. I believe you can, and he can correct me if I'm telling to. I believe you can talk to Mike Gargoni about his Seether fandom at this time. I will just say I'm not gonna besmirch his taste in music. I will just say he and I have very different tastes in music.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll leave it at that. Anyway, so yes, she gets called. His boys are playing, once again, this shitty set, and it's just them playing Xbox. And I'm just going like, these vampires these are just the assholes that go to your college. These aren't cool vampires at all. And nobody here fought in the Civil War. Yeah.
I don't need them all to be European royalty from hundreds of years ago, but there should be a mystique.
Well, that's the thing, once again, that worked in the first movie. They were a new, modern kind of vampire, but they still had a weight to them, and yes, a mystique and a mystery, and they were interesting.
And the whole idea of the Lost Boys, if you're doing any kind of because they're definitely trying to do a little bit of that Peter Pan thing that they don't grow up, they're kind of stuck in this.
By the way,
you could
they say the tagline of the original movie like 3 times in this movie.
Yeah, they do. Yeah,
and I really thought, guys, because the thing they add in this movie, and they used as the tagline for it, never grow old, never die, never know fear again.
That's a little different.
Yeah, that's
but it's true.
Their turn.
These guys don't know fear. They don't know it at all.
No, even though
they
there's
will full on go whoop whoop and ride their motorcycles all around Sheriff Lobo and his men.
I did think Sheriff Lobo. There's a very modern reference for kids.
I know, but it is a sort of like, let's tease the the stupid law enforcement.
And they were so
and I do like
dumb
when they
to
have that
chase
scene
them.
and Shane Powers goes like, "This is a little game that me and the boys have cooked up," which means they've done this multiple times.
Yeah.
Why aren't there like, APBs out? Like, these guys do this all the time because there's a lot of like property damage and all kinds of stuff.
But I also did think so. They're like because there's no money, so this chase scene is stupid. Because they're doing donuts on their motorcycles or dirt bikes, really.
They're jumping
on the
cars.
Yeah, the guy's hanging from the sheriff's station sign. All of which, general nonsense. You shouldn't have it. But the idea that you would then use police resources to engage in a high-speed chase, it's not worth it.
I do like.
Is it worth crashing police cars?
That they decided to include eastbound and down, loaded up and trucking. Well, we're gonna do what they say can't be done.
I just thought, like, these guys, like, don't take the bait, Sheriff.
Yeah, exactly. If one of these guys comes and rattles your front door or window, which is what happens, he's like, "Come and get us!" Blah blah blah. The cops should probably just go, "No."
Yeah, because that's bad, but it's not. Is that really that big a danger to the town? It's more just like, well, that's a minor nuisance. And yes, once again, they're going to end up crashing their squad cars and stuff. That's going to cost them a lot of money. Come on. Yep. And also unnecessary because the cops play no role in the plot of this. It is just to add this scene.
Just to add the scene to show that these guys, they live like crazy, wild, loose, and free.
Scamps.
They are scamps.
And so after this is where the brother goes.
Scamp Vamps.
Which
was the original title.
Scamp Vamps. I'm almost certain we'll probably end up seeing a movie called that. I wouldn't be shocked if we ended up seeing that next season or something.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Scamp Vamps. Or would they be Vamp
Don't give
Scamps?
anyone that idea.
Yeah. I don't know, man.
Scamps?
Yeah, Vamp,
it could also be
Vamp
that,
Scamps, Scamp Vamps. I don't know. Yeah,
either way, I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm good.
Yeah, these vampires are just trying to get some. Starring Stifler's brother.
Oh, God. He's like, I was reluctant to come back, but then I read the script of Scamp Vamps.
My joke is always, then I fell in love with the script.
Then I fell in love with the script.
Because it's the Troy McClure thing about he's doing
And I'm very proud to say that the script and I will be married this coming June.
I always use that because there's a Troy McClure thing where he's doing a new sitcom, and they ask him about it, he goes, well, why'd you choose to do a sitcom, Troy? He goes, well, I fell in love with the script. Plus, that incident with the IRS sealed the deal. And that is very much what I feel about this, where Feldman is just like, yeah, man, I better see a script. It better be good. Yeah, sure. Okay. All right. Anyway, so they do offer to make, they bring the brother now to the, and literally, yeah. She's now all vamped out on a racer, which just basically means she's in like a leather jacket and a short skirt.
Well, she is wearing Shane's jacket.
By the way, not cool jacket. Nope. I didn't think it's like because it's not a cool like biker leather jacket. It's a motocross jacket. Oh, this also reminds me. It's because it's in that chase scene, and it's also in the scene where he takes her out before. Every time he puts the fucking safety goggles on to ride the motorcycle, I'm like,
man.
Oh, yeah, vampires. Hold on. I may be a vampire, but I don't want to hurt these peepers.
Yeah, look, I don't like getting bugs in my eyes, even more. I
just thought
it's no different than if I were a living person.
I just thought, what are you doing, movie? Are you kidding me? He's a vampire. He's not going to put on goggles. All right. Helps me see at night. Yeah. Vampires famously
he
have
also
trouble.
Goes, do you guys have night vision? They go, no.
No, man, it's just as dark for us as everybody else. Great. You're really not selling me on being a vampire in this thing. It's like...
Do you guys have anything special about you whatsoever? Not really.
These are pretty lame vampires.
Look, I got to tell you... No.
This is his big scene where, yes, he goes, yeah, after you destroyed his surfing career, I turned this guy into a vampire. Because the vampires in this town, I only search like a 10-block radius and just sort of find guys who are roughly in my social circle.
Like. It is like, should I put some work into building my tribe? No.
Yeah.
These guys are locals. That'll work.
And yeah, I also was shocked that they had no one above them, no Edward Herrmann in this thing. It's like, wow,
Nope.
wow, really? You're the top guy?
The elder vampire has been a vampire for like 4 years.
Well, maybe that does speak to Edgar Frog has taken out most of the bigger vampires.
That's true. All right, good on you, Edgar.
Yeah,
Those
but then,
Frog brothers, they did some good.
At some point, he lost his brother and is failing to beat these guys. So it cuts both ways on that one.
These guys are pretty tough, though.
Oh man, they're pretty. Actually, they're really not, because once he gets in there, he takes them out without really much issue. I will say they do go out pretty easily, all of them. So yeah, you get the oh god, yeah. So then they oh Jesus. So they come back from.
You've gotten lost in like where am I?
They come back. They come back from
film.
that incident. They come back from his offer to make the brother a vampire. They come back home, and this is the worst line in the movie. All right, it's the aunt is chiding them for, you guys are out all the time.
Oh,
you're
it's
partying nonstop.
Yes.
And then as she's walking away, literally, I thought the scene was over, but she stops and turns back. You need to quit acting like vampires.
Yeah, she's like, you guys sleep all day, party all night.
Yeah, she said, yeah, that's right. This is the other repeat of it.
I don't condone that kind of stuff. Plus, your sister's only 17, by the way. And
which I'm glad
you guys got to stop being like vampires.
This is where when they said that, I was like, oh, thank God you said that, because at first I thought, well, what does she care? They're adults, you know. I mean, I get that you'd be upset they're not paying rent. That's valid. But like your lifestyle choices. And I'm like, aren't they adult? Oh, I guess she's the sister isn't. Well, that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. Still bullshit.
Yeah. Total bullshit is exactly right. And that was clearly just added. I swear they added that late in the game that she was 17.
Do you think they thought this will be a perfect trailer line?
Yeah, I bet it was in the trailer, which I'm sure was in front of other Warner Brothers releases.
Yeah.
I probably saw it there. Anyway.
Be sure to check out Space Jam 2.
Yeah, so the brother did drink the blood, so they're both half vampires.
Yes, and the whole reason he did it is because Edgar Frog said the only way you'll find where they roost is to infiltrate their group. Mm-hmm. But you got to promise me that you're not going to go full vamp. And I'll keep my eye on you.
Yeah.
But this is the only way you're going to save your sister is finding where they roost and then taking out the lead vampire.
So he drinks the blood, and then they go, all right, man, cool. Let's all go surfing.
Mm-hmm.
They then get on their wetsuits, walk out to go surfing. There's a cut, and they come back, and they go, man, that was some great surfing. And they're now wet.
Yes. Yeah.
And that was really, I was just like, God, you have no money, do you?
I would have preferred them doing like a skeet surfing kind of top secret thing where they just did bad green screen.
Yeah.
I would prefer that.
Yeah. I also was like, the whole thing about the surfing vampire, and I get, yes, it was the werewolf thing, but I'm just going like, did you guys accidentally also think you were making the Point Break sequel while you were at this too? Guy has to infiltrate gang of evil surfers?
So good.
Yeah, it is almost the pitch for this was like, what if it was Point Break, but with vampires? And actually, that sounds cooler than the movie we got.
Anything's cooler than the movie we
So
got.
so they're all hanging out around a bonfire because vampires famously love fires and have to warm
they have
themselves.
innocent ladies.
That's right.
With
they've just accrued hotties.
Accrued hotties.
It's another thing, much like how many places.
How much wood can a woodchuck chuck?
Yeah, but I'm saying like how many places could they be hiding? Another thing is how many innocent people can they be killing at this rate? We ask this all the time. How many people are in this town? The idea that they're going to like slaughter this group of women now is just like, well, wait a minute. Now people would notice if suddenly 3 girls disappeared. And I guess they
Santa Carla is completely empty.
That's the thing.
Women from the ages of 16 to 28.
They want to have this movie wants to have it both ways. There are we have so many missing people in this town, but also no one's paying attention.
Yeah.
What?
That makes it perfect for vampires. Maybe that's why they roost here, because no one is keeping an eye on their children.
I'm willing to buy the truckers disappearing at the From Dusk Till Dawn bar more than I'm willing to buy this. Good Lord.
Yep.
Oh, Jesus. All right. So,
do you mean the titty twister?
No, who could forget the titty twister? And this guy is familiar with the titty twister, having worked in that universe, of course.
That's
this director
true.
gave us... Actually, I believe our opinion was that one was slightly better than the second one.
Slightly better, yes.
Because 2 was really bad. And 3 was also bad, but slightly better. So Sutherland, Shane Powers, goes off with the sister and he goes, "You guys have fun." And I did think, even if you take the vampire thing about this, it'd be so weird. It's just like, "I'm going to go fuck your sister now."
Yep.
It's just so weird. These vampires are just weird, man. They're not scary. They're just
these vampires.
Weird.
These vampires. They're just weird.
And then, what is the point? This is another one of these moments where I feel like every movie now we watch, somebody is trying to do a Tarantino scene, and you have the douchebag vampire guy telling the story about, there was this scientist who took the blood out of a dog.
What was that scene?
And it's long. It's a long monologue.
And there's no reason for it.
No reason for it. But like I said, this is totally another one of those, because this is what Quentin does. He puts in a seemingly non sequitur. We saw this in Bonnie and Clyde versus Dracula too, and you're like, yeah, but he does it. Number one, they're better written, and two, there's like a character building moment. But I always think they think they're doing the Like a Virgin monologue from the start of Reservoir Dogs. That's always the thing. Or them talking about Policewoman or anything like that.
Or the Top Gun monologue, which isn't actually in a Tarantino movie, but Tarantino delivers in.
Yes, yeah.
What is that?
I know what movie you're talking
that indie
about.
flick.
Yeah, which is great. It's a great monologue.
It's not Kicking and Screaming.
No, but it's one like that. It's not living. It's not Living in Oblivion either. But it's in that realm.
But you know the one I'm talking about.
I do know what you're talking about. Yeah,
the homoerotic. He wants to be his wingman.
Yeah. Well, and it's something you see when Tarantino starts script doctoring things like Crimson Tide. Yeah, that stuff comes in there.
Yeah,
I love in Crimson Tide.
Someone's going to talk about Marvel Comics at some point.
That's the thing. When there's the whole thing about Jack Kirby drawing Silver Surfer in Crimson Tide, you're like, well, I know what Quentin wrote in this. Denzel's going to quote Star Trek at one point. I think Quentin might have had a hand in this. Yep. And by the way, I'm not saying that negatively. I love Crimson Tide, and those are great lines in that movie.
We'll take it.
Anyway, see my Crimson Tide by the Minute podcast I'll be doing. So anyway, and then basically no reason. This monologue just eats up some time, and then they start devouring these women. But of course, our main character guy is like, no, don't. They're tearing apart your friends. I'm not going to tear apart you, blonde lady. And she's running off and screaming.
Yeah, basically they're telling lead character guy, what is his name? Chris. Okay, they're telling Chris, you've got to do it. Tonight's your night. You have to make your kill.
Yeah.
And he's like, okay. And then they really... I will say this movie's trying to shock you or trying to go there because the scene with one of the bros, the giggly one, where he attacks this lady, chews into her throat, and then they really linger where he goes, God damn, she tastes good.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, I love it. And it's just like, well, and it's all right, we get it. You're trying to go, we're grosser. We'll go more hardcore than any vampire movie you've seen.
But it does that. It does that in a way. We've seen this in a lot of movies where you're like, no other part of the movie has been like that. So it really kind of comes, other than the Tom Savini thing, the gore doesn't work because it really isn't baked into the tone. So it just you just sort of feel like, well, that's unnecessary. That doesn't really fit this movie at all. And also, this whole thing is just to separate them because Shane Powers, I'm going to call by his full name, as he should be. He's the great Shane Powers.
He's the bad boy of vampire surfing.
Much like karate bad boy Mike Barnes.
That's exactly it.
Yes, one of the best things ever. Oh, I'm going to have to do a Karate Kid season on IP Squad, I'm realizing now. I can't believe I haven't thought of that already.
But you'll have to watch all of those things.
I love them all, though. I do.
Wow.
And one of my favorite things about Cobra Kai is they've made them all matter. And I'm like, it's just me going, I didn't waste my time as a youth watching all of these.
John.
Yeah.
You did.
Well, that's up for debate. But I'm still the guy going, they better get Hilary Swank and Michael Ironside from the next Karate Kid.
I wouldn't mind if they did that.
Yeah.
But I think Michael Ironside's probably pretty tired. Let him rest.
Never, sir. Anyway, so he takes her. Shane Powers takes the sister away so that she can make her first kill, which hasn't happened in the once again, unclear. Couple days, I don't know. That it passed. She has to do that back at the nest, not here on the beach for reasons that are unclear.
Well, Shane wanted, time alone with her, which is why they're not in that other group.
Right. But so when Chris doesn't kill this girl, they are now going to kill him until he grabs a branch off of a tree and impales our douchey surfer guy friend. Who dies by vomiting blood up.
Yeah, pretty awesome.
And then the other two now are going to seize on him going, you got to love this great line, "You're all out of branches, bro."
Yeah, you ain't got no more branches.
And then Feldman shows up dual-wielding stakes, and he hits us with, "Who ordered the steak?"
Yep. I don't put that on him.
No,
that's
he
the
didn't.
Script,
I don't think he improvised that.
and he's trying to deliver it.
He says it very sincerely.
He tries.
He's doing it once again. He's doing a better job than anyone else in the movie. So I can't. I can only fault him so much. But yeah, who ordered
the steak?
Who ordered the steak? You also
that's awesome.
I also just the thing too about Edgar Frog as a character is it was very funny that they were kids who acted like hard asses.
Yeah.
That charm is gone a little bit when he's older.
Oh, no, I love it.
Well, it's not there, but I wish there was more depth.
I didn't want him to put the headband on, but he put the headband on. I was like, dude, who's really out of touch.
I think that's the kind of thing I'm talking about, though, where it's like he feels like he's the exact same guy at 40.
The exact same guy.
I guess that's more my point.
Other than the monologue about, I've lost people.
But I wish that was bigger. I wish that was more, and a better movie. The actual Legacy sequel that would be like a studio release, theatrical film, would have a darker, more... Edgar Frog has. I wish you felt that 20 years had passed for this guy, and instead it's just a one-off thing about my brother died. Except maybe he didn't, because he'll be in the next movie, I guess.
Hey, don't worry about it right now.
Yeah, it's not important. We're gonna make
he
5.
He actually says, "Don't worry about it right now," which I thought was it's nice.
But then what I love is, does he stake these vampires? No, they're just like, oh shit, and run off.
He'll get his moment later, and that will involve. Dare I say, one of the most awesome, the water balloon, the holy
He shoots out of like a compressed air gun, he shoots a holy water balloon.
And it literally just pops a vampire, and that's pretty cool.
That actually was one of the only cool action beats.
Again, this movie's terrible.
Because
if you hear me at all going, it's me going like, well, that
though is one of the few times also that feels like something that would have been in the first movie is the water balloon.
Yes.
Yeah. And so they run off, and he's like, "Hey, are you cool, man? Are you cool? Let me see your teeth."
Yeah.
And of course
That's the thing is he's like going, you stay there, Chris, because I'm not sure that you're still okay. And you might come after me. And he goes, "No, I'm cool. I'm not. I know." He goes, "Show me your teeth."
Yeah.
And he does have the vampire teeth, and finally he gets pissed off and just zooms right in his vampire super speed, gets in his face and goes, "I am cool.
I am an FBI agent," he says. No, I'm sorry. Still on Point Break. One of cinema's greatest line deliveries by far. He's amazing. That movie, perfect. But here's another example of a scene that's like, you're on the right track, but you don't know how to write it. When they're driving to the nest now.
Yes.
It basically is just like, I'm gonna let those vampires go so we can fight them in the third act. But
that is exactly what he says. Again, this movie kind of is really on the nose.
It was actually kind of Deadpool before Deadpool, right? Like it was sort of fourth wall breaking. He would turn to the camera and say stuff. He's telling about all the weapons, and he's saying the Latin to bless the water that they have. And and I thought, because he goes like, "What do you mean you're a minister?" He's like, "Yeah, I got ordained online." And I thought, that's fine. But then he keeps going, "Yeah, the church of this." And he's like, no, too much script. What are you doing? Just the simple, like, got ordained online.
Script didn't hear you. But yes, that is a clever idea.
Yeah.
That's fine. I like it.
Oh, I like that too. But they were like, that's funny. Let's write 4 more lines to it to make it even funnier.
Gild that lily.
Yeah.
So hard.
Hey, just bad.
There's more joke there.
Yeah.
We want you to have all the jokes.
That's a big thing, particularly in the script. But just bad instincts abound in this movie.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the problem. Where you just go like, ooh, no. So yes, So Shane Powers has brought the sister to the nest. They have captured the local nerdy guy who liked her.
Yeah, they have him in a coffin. So they open the coffin, and there's the nerd guy going.
Which, by the way, why do they have a coffin? Because they don't sleep in coffins. We know that.
No, they don't.
They sleep upside down like bats.
Like,
which
hey,
this
man,
movie
why don't we put people in coffins occasionally to be like ironic?
Yeah. But the thing I like about that is also that just reminds me we never see them sleeping upside down because that seems probably expensive somehow. Even though that's an iconic image from the original movie.
We can't do that.
It's just that's a thing from the original movie that stands out. So anyway, you get. By the way, okay. Here's we do this sometimes on the show, and I will say this right here. Here is another thing I want banned from film.
All right.
Jokes about military hand signals. Stop it, movies. It's not funny. I hate it. And you do because Feldman's doing the like point, and the guy's like,
and then
what?
Chris goes, what? I can't follow that. He goes,
it.
Oh, just follow me, okay?
I've seen this in conservatively 200 movies now. Like it's never funny.
Every time. Oh wait, I was gonna say every time.
Oh wow, a little controversy here on the show.
I'm joking.
No,
it's
of course
bullshit.
you're not. No, yeah, it's just so lame.
It's just so lame.
Yeah, either have people use hand signals and know how to use them, or don't. These are your options, folks. It's not funny.
These are indeed your options.
So they get in there immediately, and this Autumn Reeser though is like, oh, I don't want to bite that guy.
Yeah.
That's another problem with her just being not a character. You go like, I don't know where her humanity is lying between.
No, that's what I'm saying. They didn't do anything with, again, the original has that struggle that Michael is going through.
Yeah.
This is just, she just seemed all in from the get-go because this hot guy is totally into her. And then she's like, oh, the only drawback is that he kills people and drinks their blood. I guess I could learn to live with that or something. So in other words, I don't like her and I want to.
Well, because once they tell her she's a vampire, she's like, oh my God. But then she still goes when she's summoned, which makes you question how much is she under control versus, and it's just not there. And also, a lot of the movie becomes her and Sutherland, not her and the brother, which is so key to a lot of what keeps Michael's humanity in the original movie is his relationship with Sam, right? Is that they have this, is that he is there going, I still believe, I still love you, you're my brother, you're not a monster.
If it weren't for occasional obligatory mentions where, to Edgar Frog, Chris will say something like, she's my sister, man.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, I guess that suffices.
And then that's the thing that's the only reason they gave him the thing about I know what it is to lose a sibling. That's basically just plot math to be like, okay, that's why he's going along with it. It doesn't really actually do anything for his character.
Nope.
Yeah. It's a bad movie, guys.
Sorry, everybody. Bad movie.
So they're sneaking around. I like when they're sneaking around into the nest, and it's just black all around them. There's no set design. It's just like, because they're in a dark cave. We don't have to build anything. Fantastic.
No, it's literally black velvet on a wall. And they're like, thank God.
Yeah, it basically is. And so the brother gets grabbed by...
What's weird is even the black velvet instantly gives you a feel of Vancouver. I didn't understand that.
That's Canadian velvet if I've ever seen it.
That's Canadian velvet, which should be the name of our new podcast, where we just talk about films that are trying to tell us they're taking place elsewhere but are just shot in Vancouver.
Actually, that's not a terrible idea for a podcast at all. Canadian velvet. Movies shot in Canada that are pretending. And you know what?
They tell us this is Metropolis, but it's pretty clearly Calgary.
Have they ever? Oh, the shows have. I was going to say, have they ever shot a Superman movie in Vancouver? They've definitely done the shows. Every CW show.
and the Calgary for Metropolis is the 77 movie.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, it was both New York and Alberta. Or
they did a nice job of making that have an identity, though.
Oh yeah,
yeah. Like it. That's I'm more comic book movies that build fake cities is my thing.
Yeah,
I don't like when Gotham is just Chicago.
Right.
Sorry, Mr. Nolan, who I love.
Ooh, snap.
But
coming for Nolan.
No, believe me, I'm very hesitant to say that because I do love that man. He's a genius. But
he's fond of you.
Yeah, I hope so. He loves this show, by the way. He's always writing, going, "I very much enjoyed your discussion of humanoids."
He's
from
like,
deep.
could you please go back to talking about Ford and Foreign?
I hear actually his next project he's working on a biopic. The
Ford thank God.
Story. Christopher Nolan's Ford and Foreign.
Oh my God. I kind of want that.
I know, don't you want that?
I want to live in a world where that exists.
Yeah. Cillian Murphy is Dick Foran. Yeah.
And you know what? That Cillian Murphy will now become Nolan's, DiCaprio, where DiCaprio is in every Scorsese film. I love that.
Yeah. And Tom Hardy's going to put on the weight to do Ford.
He is.
He'll commit.
And talk about, it's my Pookie.
Yeah.
I can't wait to get home to my Pookie.
Yeah.
Man, that's going to be gripping. All right, anyway.
You know what? Those guys might actually be able to do it. So anyway, the Jamaican vampire grabs Chris and slams him against the wall and hits him with this winner of a one-liner. Quiet. You'll wake the dead.
So good. I didn't actually catch it, but now that I think about it, it's like they're kind of the dead. And
yeah. You see what they've done here? It's crafty. It works on a lot of levels.
Really? Well, one level.
One of my favorite things, I love this in movies. They're in an old abandoned mine, right?
Yeah.
That still has fully functioning mining equipment in it, of course.
Yes, I love that too. As if any mining corporation, even if they said, this one's dead, let's abandon this.
Fucking leave all the drills
they
and
would
shit
take
down there.
that's worth $100,000 or something, and then you're like, let's just leave it behind.
It's a huge because they end up activating this massive. What is it, like a jackhammer kind of? It's whatever kind of the drill. Yeah, it's a jackhammer, right? Because it's going through the rock.
Right. And
it's just that they turn it on, you're like, and it's another thing where
Jamaican guy is going to use it to kill Chris.
Yeah.
By kind of shoving Chris's face
and
toward
it's another long struggle where you're going like, obviously the Jamaican guy is going to get impaled on this thing.
That's coming. And then it's very unconvincing the way that he then somehow is able to grab it with his, I'm like, but it is jackhammer. So how is he able to...
Thank God. By the way, thank God people can't see the hand motion you were just making.
Oh yeah. And then he swivels it around just in time for Jamaican guy doing like a leap at him. And
he's only half vampire. Even a vampire grabbing the jackhammer thing, I would question because it would still rip his hand apart. It would grow back, but he just does it. And he's only half a vampire at this point. He's still mostly human, right? So I don't know. Anyway, though, he's dead. And then the other guy...
by that we mean Jamaican.
Jamaican guy is dead.
Chris is still okay.
Yeah, well, don't worry, folks. Chris makes it out of this thing.
What?
He... and then the other guy, the laughing guy...
Yeah.
He shows up to confront Corey Feldman, who, uses a compressed air cannon to fire a water balloon full of holy water at this guy's head that explodes. It is the best. It is the best part of this movie, unquestionably. This takes me.
It's pretty good effect.
It actually,
that dude.
I will say this. Another thing in faint praise of this movie, all the gore is practical.
Yep.
We're not yet at. I think we're in real trouble, Brendan, going forward because we're about to enter the era where CGI becomes easily accessible. And After Effects takes over, so I think we're gonna see. We've already seen a little bit of it, but it's gonna.
We've seen some digital blood. Didn't the blood rains? Speaking of,
but what we're gonna see is where the movies that have absolutely no money can still know someone who can use After Effects.
Awesome,
and that's where I think Bonnie and Clyde vs. Dracula a little bit of that.
Yep.
And that's where you're gonna get into some real trouble.
Cry little sister.
Cry little sister, indeed. But then Feldman has to ruin it by going, "Pop goes the weasel."
He sure does.
And Pauly Shore sued this movie then because he's like, "I'm the weasel."
Oh Jesus! Here I am feeling okay And you bring up Pauly Shore.
I know. Hey, man, you've never been touched by the man, so.
That's true.
His hands have been
consent.
His hands were upon me out of nowhere. I will say. And go back into our archives if you're one of our patrons, and you can hear that incident happen. It was on mic. So,
John.
Yeah.
I'm getting hungry.
Okay. So is this movie to end?
Yes.
So
that is the true.
They enter. Chris enters the lair. Shane Powers does descend from the ceiling. The only bit of remote flight that happens, although it looks like your high school's Peter Pan play, as he's clearly coming down on wires. Again,
Lost Boys.
Yeah.
And he is singing "I'm Flying." Look at me here, but I'm flying. And
yeah. I did think that was weird that they bothered to get that.
Good touch.
So they start fighting, of course, and it's not very exciting. No. And then Autumn Reeser comes in and goes, "Hey, stop! That's my brother."
Yeah, I mean, we do like Autumn Reeser, but she's, this isn't good stuff.
You can't be good in this. It doesn't matter.
You can't.
There's no way to say this stuff. So she shows up, is yelling about, "Oh no, that's my brother! Get off of him!" And then when he doesn't, she impales him. Angus Sutherland, but through the gut, so it doesn't kill him, because Chris then gets the final blow and cuts his head off.
Yes.
Yay.
So good.
Yeah.
And again, I was half expecting there'd be some twist where it'd be like, we don't feel any different. Maybe he's not the lead vamp. Nope.
Yeah. Nope. It's all
they kill him, and
fine.
They're like, "Whoa, thank God our vampiring days are over."
I love that this movie also makes a point to show that they drove the guy who was captured home.
Yeah, that's nice.
And he's
like, "Can I maybe call you sometime?"
And she's like, "Sure." And he's like, "Awesome." You're like, God, this guy's lame.
Thank God Evan was saved.
Yeah.
That's one of the rules of screenwriting.
And
save
then,
the Evan.
Oh boy, does this movie try to go out on a joke.
It tries.
The aunt busts in. And here's where I thought they were going to try to copy the first movie a little bit, that she would know about vampires, that it was going to be like the grandfather at the end of the original movie going, I hate about this town, all the damn vampires. But instead she comes in, she goes, "I know everything you two have been up to. How could you think you could keep this from me? Getting involved in such darkness, blah, blah, blah. You're smoking weed."
Yeah. That's the whole thing. It's like she's like, "Look, guys, I try to be cool, but you're partying too hard, and if I even see one marijuana seed, you're in trouble." And then they look at each other like, "Marijuana?" She thinks that's crazy.
Wish.
She doesn't know about the vampires.
I do think real weird choice to then turn into the cartoon Looney Tunes circle right on their face, and
yep. But this was a Warner Brothers production, so
from the Warner Brothers proudly presents. By the way, no, and so then the movie ends, and you're like, "Oh, thank God!" And then what's this though? The credits roll, but about halfway through the credits, it's a post-credit scene, folks.
Here's what I love about this: they don't quite know how these things are supposed to work. So it is early days of a button scene. So. Yeah. A really bad song on the soundtrack. You might think it would be like something that had some eeriness or whatever.
I thought they were going to reprise "Cry Little Sister" or something.
Yes, instead it's sort of like a dumb Smash Mouth type thing where it's like, "I am do boo 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 boo."
I wonder if this was the director's song. I don't know which one.
I hope so. And then literally the volume just drops out, like they just took the sliders and dropped it out. Then we get a button scene where Edgar Frog is standing in a park at night, and he's like, "I thought you'd show up," or whatever it is. And
I knew you'd come here, man. And out of the shadows steps a clearly near death Corey Haim.
Also, he's got vampire makeup on.
He does have vampire makeup on, but also his voice is all kinds of wrong.
Yeah, he comes out, he's wearing he's all in black and black coat. He's like, and it is Sam from the first movie, and he's a vampire, and he's just like, "Yeah, our business isn't finished," or whatever, and then he just lunges at Edgar, and that's the end.
Yeah, and Edgar raises up a
stake. But then
stake.
what I think is hilarious is, then it's not like they move on to a different song. They just bring the volume back up of the song that was already playing. So it's like, duh, 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 duh.
That's not how that works. Also, Marvel is really, I mean, obviously,
but they're great.
Hot take, Marvel.
They know how to do
Marvel has perfected these. But one of the things they do is they don't do the opening titles, so that way you can do all the directed by thing, and then use that as your break before the credits start rolling to do a scene.
Yeah,
that's very smart, and that's how a lot of stuff does that. I mean, it is interesting now. Yes, you talk about it. It's funny to watch something that doesn't know how to do this because obviously everybody just copies how Marvel does it now. So all of these feel structurally the same. You kind of know where they're coming.
But this is just bullshit.
This is just bullshit and sets up nothing because Haim's not in the next movie.
No,
because
he didn't survive.
Yeah, he
did not live to make another movie.
Yeah. It was,
and I mean, that sounds like I'm being snarky.
No, it's really
really
a
horrible
too bad.
Truth.
It's really
their
too
lives
bad. Yeah.
Didn't go.
And like I said, really, particularly of the two, I always thought Haim really could have been something amazing. And Feldman too, but I mean, Haim really had like potential like leading man chops.
Yeah. No, Feldman was always going to be a character actor.
And a good character actor at that. And his
good one.
Well, it's interesting because you look even at like the great things like The Lost Boys. And yeah, Feldman's the other guy in it. Feldman's one of the Goonies. Feldman's in Stand By Me. Feldman's really good in a movie I bring up more than most people, which is The Burbs. Which I'm a big Burbs guy.
I finally saw it. I mean, that was one of my famous. I've never gotten around to seeing it, and then I watched it a couple of years ago, and I don't quite get the love.
But you don't shit on it like people did.
No, not at all, not at all.
Yeah. No, I think unfairly maligned at the very least.
I feel that I've been unfairly maligned.
Yeah, so that's Lost Boys: The Tribe. Do not watch it.
No. I
think the big question for me is, will The Thirst be better or worse than this? That's the only question I have. Because it's going to be bad, and it's going to be a letdown. But does it continue downward?
From the Wikipedia, it seems that
none of these characters come back.
Right. This was supposedly a surprise hit. At least as far as a directive.
Yeah, because people rented it, obviously going like, "Oh, Lost Boys,"
and so that's why a third one was greenlit. Mm-hmm. But from what I've read through the Wikipedia, no, the next one's considered to be even worse.
Even worse.
So yay!
Interesting. I do think it's interesting that nothing from this continues other than Edgar Frog. We don't bring back these siblings.
Why would you?
No, I mean, why would you is right, but it just seems like just in the. You know how these things are made. Why'd they bring back those people in the fucking subspecies movies? They kept bringing those side characters back. Who cares?
They were awesome. Hungarian cop guy.
I am curious. I will be curious to see. Is it gonna lean harder on the Frog Brothers? Then that's my question.
That's my assumption. I think they're like, oh, that worked.
Yeah, just keep going with that. Bring the other Frog Brother back in.
Yep.
But that's not what we're talking about next week. Thank God we don't have to do two of these.
What's next week, John?
Next week is a movie Brendan, had never heard of.
What?
You never heard of this movie? But I will say...
You have famously memorized all of Leonard Maltin's movie guides, just like Sam Levine.
I did pore over those like they were encyclopedias as a kid. And
I had
highlight stuff. Yeah. I got to see this. I would go to actors, because you used to do the thing where you put actors on the back, and I would go like, seen it. Oh, I haven't seen this one they did.
That's funny. I never did that.
I know that's you've talked about. Well, I mean, I did both, but
I don't follow actors. I follow stories.
I follow filmmakers more than I follow actors. My dad is a big actor person, which I keep telling him is like that's why you end up seeing a lot of garbage because they don't have a lot of control over what they do.
True.
So I'm more inclined to follow like writers and directors. True. But this takes us back into familiar territory for me, though, because this seems very action shelfy next week.
Oh, what
is
this?
And it's a film called Wolfsbane. Not Wolfsbane. Wolfsbane. Starring Brendan, I don't know how much you're familiar with the work of one Mark Dacascos.
I actually thought you were about to say Mark Dacascos.
Nice.
I honestly did.
Nice.
I was like, if he's saying action shelf, it's probably going to be Dacascos.
And I will say though, Dacascos
I'm not anywhere near you because you force yourself to watch so much. But
I
I've
will say
seen plenty of films
the guy, he's one of the guys I really do like in this I've never seen this one.
He has his own.
Yeah. He has his own. He's a little bit better actor than some. He's been in legitimate stuff like a movie we bandied back but ended up not doing, Brotherhood of the Wolf, which is werewolf adjacent but not really a werewolf movie. But that
no, it doesn't fit.
Yeah. But anyway, that's
probably one of the higher quality films he ever made.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. He's been in. He's also the villain in John Wick Chapter 3. Yeah. Anyway, I really do like Mark Dacascos. Never seen this one. Wolfsbane. We're seeing Jeremy London. Have we seen him before? Or I think we saw Jason London maybe.
Which one was in Dracula?
I think that was Jason. So we're getting the other. Let me take a look here.
Not 3000. That was
no, that was Casper Van Dien. Dracula 2000.
But it wasn't Dracula 2000. It was the sequel to that, wasn't it? Dracula 2,
Dracula 2, and Dracula 3. That was Jason. So we're getting the other London for the first time. Jeremy London of Mallrats,
who looks completely different.
Yeah, they are definitely not identical twins.
Nope.
And Yancey Butler, remember her?
Yep.
Yeah. And so I don't know what to tell you about this, but this is an actioned up werewolf movie.
Television's Witchblade. I did watch some of that because, of course, you had to. Because comics.
But she's also in my favorite Jean-Claude Van Damme movie, Hard Target. So
okay.
Yeah. So anyway,
I'm not looking forward to it.
Don't know anything about this. It is readily available though, folks, because I don't think it costs anything probably to license this movie.
Is it on Tubi, Freevee?
It's on Freevee for sure. And I bet I wouldn't be surprised if it's also on. It's on both. It's on both Tubi and Freevee. Woo! Always a good sign of quality.
All right. Well, let's let this go.
Wolfsbane next week on the show.
Yep. And let's get this out of our heads.
Indeed. Let's move on before we head back to Twilight after that, unfortunately.
Oh, Jesus.
But that is going to do it for this week's episode of Campbell and Jones Meet the Monsters. I'm John Campbell.
I'm Brendan Jones.
And remember, there are such things as monsters.
I still believe.